Greetings, fellow Sierra Leoneans and viewers beyond the Sierra Leone community. Welcome to another edition of the Critical Thinking Talk Show. I am your host, Khadija Tijan Nabi. On the community announcement, the Critical Thinking Talk Show extends its sincere sympathy to Honorable Hassan Sise. And excuse me, I've been facing another live yet, so I've been here for pause for just to make sure. Once again, on the community announcement, the Critical Thinking Talk Show extends sincere sympathy to Honorable Hassan Sise, who was brutally attacked to the point of almost being killed. As per his statement, he strongly believed that the intention was to kill him, as he was hit by an unknown vehicle with no license plate. Honorable Hassan Sise happens to be a member of the main opposition political party, the All People's Congress. As we are all aware, most recently, Honorable KKY was also attacked during the most recent by-election. We also condemn the attack and property damage of Mr. Saliu Tijan Jallo, the journalist behind who raised question of alleged $1 million of our chief minister. We will continue to call the attention of the head of state, His Excellency President Madabio, and all governmental officials to denounce the continued violence and patiently await our government to reassure Sierra Leoneans of their safety, irrespective of their political affiliation, their tribes, their region, and the list goes on. We also call for an immediate medical intervention for Honorable Hassan Sise to be flown outside of the Republic of Sierra Leone for better medical attention and treatment, as also suggested by our Speaker of Parliament. As this platform promised to bring to you all authentic and accurate message, I will pause here to share the statement of Honorable Hassan Sise, as well as concerned Sierra Leoneans from one of our very own, Mr. Ibrahim, commonly known as Mr. Ibrahim KKY. I'll pause here for now. Make us share that, and I all welcome. I'm sorry if I'm not able to acknowledge or I'm not able to respond to in a comment name. As I will share the I will send notification and then get back to Inaya. And I all welcome once again. With that said, make us share the statement of Honorable Hassan Sise will be recently been get attacked. And I all welcome once again, and I feel free for share and notify others.
On my way back, I stopped at Chikibonta. At a restaurant? Yes, restaurant on Beach Road. Grabbed some food, ate some food, and then was sitting there with some of my friends. I then decided speaking morosely from his bed at the corner.
And I saw you get a quick,
I knew about Hand
I'm so sorry.
For a while, and then my
all right, I start them all over again, yeah? And I'm sorry.
On my way back, I stopped at Chikibonta. At a restaurant? Yes, restaurant on Beach Road. Grabbed some food, ate some food, and then was sitting there with some of my friends. I then decided speaking morosely from his bed at the Connaught Hospital in Freetown. The chief whip of the main opposition All People's Congress APC party in Parliament, Honorable Hassan Sise, recounts a tragic incident that happened to him earlier this week around the Aberdeen Beach area, west of the capital, Freetown. He is a victim of a grim car hit-and-run incident that has left him with a broken leg, fractured sides and spine, a cut in his head, and countless bruises to his left hand after what he described as an unlicensed vehicle that came from nowhere and gave him a deadly hit and sped away, with the supposed perpetrator still at large, leaving the honorable member unconscious for about 3 days, battling for his life in the hospital. I just saw a vehicle coming from nowhere, an unmarked vehicle, just hit me, and then it sped away. What was the time when this happened? There were 10 in the night. Yes. Were there people in the area? People in the area, because cars were lined up. because it's a normal place where people go to eat ice cream, food, etc.
Were there police to apprehend the individual that
I
hit
was
you?
hit, I went unconscious, so I knew nothing that happened again from that point. I only regained consciousness at the emergency hospital.
Honorable Hassan Sise has been one of the most vocal and fierce, if not the most, from the main opposition APC in the Sierra Leone parliament to flag up controversial issues that pertain to the country's plagued economy, as he recently moved a motion that Parliament invited the Bank Governor of Sierra Leone, Professor Kelfala Murana Kalon, and the Minister of Finance, Jacob Jususafa, for both men to answer to questions about what many have described as the country's ailing economy. He has also recently championed the case of over 200 sacked former workers at the Statistics Sierra Leone Central Office in Freetown, who want to be given an end-of-service benefits after their controversial dismissal recently.
I would also want to suggest here that to bring the governor to this house to explain to us what is the state of our exchange rate. Why is it going the way it is going? Now, for every spike in the price of the foreign exchange, as in dollar, so to speak, it is affecting the very poor rural person in the communities that we represent. Political ideas that cannot be transformed to reality will always remain to be an ideological abstraction. If that is the case, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the budget is rich on rhetoric but poor on substance when it comes to the people of this country that we are all representing here. Those people affected at the Central Statistics Office, if relieved of their duties, deserve to be paid their benefits. Mr.
The foregoing clips speak volume of how vocal Honorable Sise has been in the Sierra Leone Parliament when it comes to issues to speak to as an honorable member of Parliament. His current predicament has left many tongues wagging and minds wandering in the wonderland of endless thoughts as to what or who could have been behind the attempt on his life in such a fashion. Honorable Sise is just as bemused as many others are flummoxed.
What happened on that day was deliberate on the person that was driving that vehicle. For whatever reason he did it, I cannot say. And I was only, for all the issues I was raising in Parliament, I was doing it in good faith as a member of the opposition and think I'm just doing a job. So whatever might have happened, I cannot say. Let people judge the situation. I cannot judge for myself.
Has any apprehension or arrest been made?
I've not even had a statement from the police, and my vehicle was taken to the police station at Aberdeen. It was my security and my driver who recovered the vehicle the next day from Aberdeen police station, and the Aberdeen police have not made a statement about it up to now, as far as I know.
No arrest has been made. No word from the police about suspects or inklings leading to possible apprehension of suspects by the Sierra Leone police over the past couple of days since the tragic incident, which has been viewed by many as worrisome, occurred. And this has left Honorable Sise brooding on what could be the fate of the masses who may not have an iota of his prestige in society, and peradventure such a situation surfaces to them.
I am a member of Parliament, a senior member of Parliament at that. If it can happen to me like that without a word from the police, if an official of state is treated that way, I don't know what the rest of the populace will experience in such situation. So I'm only saying that do not bode well for our justice system. That now we're in a situation where people can get away with anything, and that is not what a safe state should be.
Efforts to reach the Sierra Leone police on the said matter proved counterproductive, as at the time of reporting, the Speaker of the Sierra Leone Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Chernobundu, earlier on this week announced Honorable Sise's upheaval in the well of Parliament, stressing its severity and assured of the Sierra Leone's Parliament support to the Honorable Member.
From all indications, he may need treatment overseas. That shows how very serious his injuries are. He's in the annex at Connaught Hospital. I think I can say on behalf of the entire House that we express our sympathy for his present plight and condition, and we extend to him our very best wishes for an early recovery.
Sierra Leone MPs lack medical allowance from the government, but the Speaker of the Sierra Leone Parliament has disclosed plans to expedite Honorable Sise's treatment out of the country for what he describes as proper medication, exposing the weak health system in the country, where even treatment for a broken leg and rumpled tendons would have to be sought elsewhere. But how soon this would happen to see the beleaguered Honorable Sise back to his feet in the Sierra Leone Parliament, and better still, his family, this still remains a wait-and-see issue. I am Abdullah Bula reporting.
Once again, we send out with sympathy to Honorable Hassan Sise, who have been brutally attacked from an unknown card, as he mentioned, say the vehicle be unlicensed, license plate, sorry. Now, I will play other audios them from other Sierra Leoneans them around the world. And excuse me. In the meantime, that land we today topic. Make I read with usual rules of engagement. Now, for everyone have the equal right here. Everyone have equal rights here, irrespective of your political affiliation. Each of you have the right to challenge me or my guests, as long as it is done in a friendly and respectful manner, as we all work amicably and tirelessly towards national cohesion and towards a better Mama Salon. No profanity will be allowed, neither any gesture that suggests violence. We will respect each other even when we disagree. Anyone who insists and decide or to refer to anyone as Bona NGC, na APC, na C4C, or na SLPP would be placed in the irrelevant category and ignored. We all must understand that every Sierra Leonean on this platform have the right to belong to any political party of their choice as it was set forth in our constitution. No one will be found guilty or will be placed in a category of committing a crime because of their political affiliation. Use your thinking cap to build your case and allow Sierra Leoneans to make the decision of whether they believe you or not. Do not use your mouth to attack others. With that said, as usual, we are looking forward to another healthy, matured, and fun debate. As our logo implies, we will start our conversation by handshaking and will end each debate by handshaking, a symbol or promise to each other of what binds us together under the green, white, and blue. Once again, welcome, and feel free for notify others and share so others gonna say we day on. I will send our pause back again a little bit. Now see if I will send few more notification and then try for bring with guests in. Where now we financial risk analyst, Mr. Alfred Sanko of the United Kingdom, where is a good in your take on with today's topic. So I just make an open statement. As a feminist, it is never easy to constructively critique another woman, but it is equally necessary to do so when the need arises in effort to help another sister succeed in her role or towards accomplishing a goal or our goals. In that vein, I will present to you both the pros as well as the con of our First Lady. But first, allow me to extend warm birthday wishes to our First Lady, Madam Fatima Bio, as you celebrate another milestone this year. May you witness many more in great health. Secondly, make we define the role of First Lady. First Lady is never officially elected or sworn in. In that vein, the first mistake we as Sierra Leoneans they make, because they don't correct me as well. I always make myself open to the opportunity for learn each day, because Motamani they perfect and we they learn from each other. And waiting me learn from even the one of the platform where I've been the volunteer with what they do, where we can always give that title of this First Lady, what they call them is Excellency. I was told that was inappropriate and that enough for B when it comes to with presidents, then fine. But when we look at it in world places like here, the United States, maybe United Kingdom, if we watch them keenly, now we more of African, now we can get the attitude of, I'm not saying that is bad, but waiting now the correct I call way we for address with First Lady them versus waiting not to the correct way. But again, as in I know this platform it open for now we share ideas. If again what I was told now that platform they was wrong, and I self can share an idea when the time reach with phone line open. When as in aware we get we WhatsApp line as well as with direct line. We WhatsApp line at the 908-342-8176, where I will put later, as well as the 1-800 number. I will also write time, so it will be on a display, so you're not go able for call and bring in as if you want I call input on the topic. So like I say, so now that I was told, if I know anything else other than what I was told, I was correct in terms of saying that is excellency. And during that time, I've been make a flyer when I've been get I call an interview with one of we minister when Madam Memuna Tuprat. So unfortunately, maybe put the word is excellency. So they may correct me, say it wasn't, that was not the appropriate address. And even to first lady, one of us use the word is excellency. But like I say, maybe this not the norm for we as African, but not mean say it necessarily correct. So now, again, like I say, now defined the role of the first lady in terms of salary in the place like the United States of America. The first lady gets paid. I should say that's go apply anywhere else around the world. So that means they need to get zero money when it comes to whatever their husband and they make. Now that way, and then get other things then where they can benefit from. However, they're compensated in other ways. Like I say, example, lifelong pension, free accommodation, free travel around the world, and a personal security detail. The role of the First Lady is usually to organize and attend official ceremonies and function of state, either along with or in the place of the president. Make clear again. When I use the word organize, I don't mean for go tell the parliamentarian or minister them waiting them for do, or tell the doctor waiting them for do, or the protocol officer waiting for do. I just be one make that very make a clear. Now we establish that say that anything I mean anything we get for know with boundaries waiting not waiting usa for cross usa not for cross. But like I say, we all go put we ideas then together today in the effort for help with First Lady. Okay. So again, we'll focus on things where the First Lady don't do in the past since the change of governance. Secondly, let me also start by categorically commending or acknowledging the strength of we First Lady. Upon thorough investigation, and for those that know you personally, Madam First Lady, one thing where I've been very much impressed was that you're not person way like you friends them and loyal to them. As the saying goes, you not one of the individual way they will say, not to forget old bell full. I love that about you and consider that as a strength. And then like I say again, Motaman not for forgets Usai it don't come out, or the people that will be don't did where before it may cancel Usai it may come. So that is something where me want to commend you on first. As the name implies, also perseverance, tenacity, my nickname, where they use na Facebook or na this platform, you also get the quality of a go-getter and never give up. That is also a quality to be commended. Your ability to accept your husband, which now is sitting president now, where you meet him in a time where in not being hold any office or any 9-to-5 position, yet you accept him unconditionally, and that is also something to be commended. As I strongly believe that love is not all about money, title, position, etc. It's about who will love you for you unconditionally, or accept you when others may turn their backs, especially in the time of when others go refer to you, or you go refer to yourself as rock bottom. So that is something I will commend you as well. And then again, today I'm not going to allow anybody for go against them personally, meaning that we all, I go say again, that's not the intention here. In that vein, I will say, despite you trials and tribulation on a personal level, you never give up on yourself. That is worth also to be commended, and I salute you for that. Meaning that whatever it is you don't go through in terms of relationship, I don't believe say anybody for judge a person by that, but again, you rise above all that. So that's also for me, to my opinion, is a strength. Now, make we get to some of the awkward moments or major blunder knowing you position as a first lady. The very first one we talk about is the inauguration. As we know, a country that is well structured and well organized has a own different departments them in terms of assignment or whether they're in charge of in terms of responsibility, so on and so forth. So many Sierra Leoneans them be look and say that was a big blunder, not be a weakness of you, wherein you take that bold step for stand as the lead in regards to inauguration. As you know, now a very significant and very how you call significant moment for we as Sierra Leonean, and some of the things them also where you may make promise, and I will also play that audio there because like I say, we platform I want anything where they talk, we get authentic evidence then for back up the statement. You promise Sierra Leonean artists them regarding the inauguration, you promise them say you go make sure say them be in control of the inauguration. So many people then look and say that was just a facade. It was just empty promise, because at the end of the day, when it comes to the reality, unfortunately, you allowed with Nigerian brothers them, as in the example of Davido, Dr. Ivo, for be the center of attention instead of we Sierra Leone brothers them or we sisters them for be the first priority. I do not believe we can I do not believe that we're not ever able for reverse we mistakes them, provided that we are willing to how you call them, learn from those mistakes and do better maybe for the upcoming for future event. So like I said, before I go further, I want to play that audio day or that video day where you be actually make public promise to Sierra Leoneans say when it comes to the inauguration, you go make them a priority, that you prioritize them for let them I call them be the center of attention instead of we other African brothers then for can take advantage over their own significant ceremony as that of we inauguration. So I go pause here and I play that as a reminder for backup me statement them not look like for say I just a mixed statement where really happen.
Well, we don't work on a lot of stuff. We don't make sure say the stadium is habitable. When we go to the stadium, it looks so bad. They believe say this is a national stadium. We don't work on them. We don't fix everything. We make sure say we get a proper place for we guests them where they come, and the people in Sierra Leone where they go come, they will be proud of the inauguration. In terms of invited guests, we invite I think about 20 head of states. At the moment, we don't get 7 confirmed where they come, and people are now from all over the place because everybody wants to come. And in terms of celebrities, then we don't get a lot of celebrities, and we don't confirm to me say they want to come support. These are people that I've don't work with before. People Omotola, they come from Nigeria. Messi Johnson, they come from Nigeria. Mr. Ibu, they come from Nigeria. Osita, where people know as Popo, they come from Nigeria. Davido don't call, say please, they want to come support me also. Instead, they come from Nigeria. Yusundur, they come out Senegal, they come. We get Marikumba Gomez, another actress with the UK. Instead, they come. Larry Balogo also, they come out UK, they come. So I get a lot of this is just the people and we have been don't work with before. They want for come support this cause. Well, all Sierra Leonean artists, they're all invited, but the actual name them we headline names them we I believe say good day. Of course, Emerson, Caldinero, LJ, they're all good day, and all the other which is in terms of performances, of artists. we preferences would give priority to the Sierra Leonean artists them for letting them perform for not the stadium, because you know the stadium, they do performances then, but then go daily, then go support. And of course na Sierra Leonean artists care for do the national anthem. I know they give out the name, so okay. Let it be a nice surprise. A Sierra Leonean artists care for do the national anthem, because that's the only musical thing really happen on the day. But the reception, the banquet, all that one, then a Sierra Leonean artist, and then the headline.
Okay, so again, like I say, I can want we get authentic evidence of waiting at the say. Let me go back again and try for re-echo some of the points that we first lady make. You make promise, say, and use the word say preference in terms of Sierra Leone artists them for be center of attention. Unfortunately, that was not the case. And the word preference enough of be, in other words, that's who you would prefer over we other Nigerian brothers and sisters that we come. Well, I look and say, and again, Sierra Leoneans, you're welcome to challenge me. I look and say, this not a young given right, not a birthright. It's not for even be an option or preferable, but rather they're supposed to be the center of attention all across board. Just like if they go to Nigeria, they go battle with Nigerian brothers and sisters them, we not will be the center of attention padayon significant day one at the inauguration. They will not ever be an option of we Sierra Leonean artists them for being center of attention, how you call them, over the Nigerians them, in which they get right for do that. So we for always, and now we they can say now we they sell we artists them. If today we Nigerian brothers them, then they do very well in the music industry. We have wonderful, talented brothers and sisters in the Republic of Sierra Leone, where equally they're talented or more talented than some of we Nigerian brothers and sisters them. But because we do not value them or we do not support them, like how we supposed for put them at the highest pedestal, just like how we accommodate with Nigerian brothers and sisters them during inauguration. Now make we need able for push ourselves to the map like how we supposed for day. So I believe say that was again a mistake on your own end. Maybe it wasn't deliberate because you make emphasis and say these are people then where you don't work with as when you've been the act. So I understand say sometimes they can be like conflict of interest, wherein that sometimes you just want to give them that sense of attention because they send a celebrity. But also for the near future, now we understand say we artists themselves, they are celebrities, and then now we get for sell them for letting themselves be respected around the world. So that's how we want point out to some of the things then where you make, and the emphasis then where you make in terms of the celebrities then we come, you make comment of like example of Amatola, Dr. Ibo, so on and so forth. Like I said, the emphasis was so much like they were more of at a higher pedestal compared to we as Sierra Leone in this now event. So this again, I'm your humble contribution or observation with that you promised prior to the inauguration, and actually the actual reality of waiting happen with inauguration. And unfortunately, as you can see, the outcome of it, indirectly or directly, Sierra Leoneans them also voice out how they feel. What I mean by that again, the turnout was very poor. It was rather obvious. So again, I would say again a learning process for you, for maybe for the future event. Again, for you to be so supportive, for your husband be successful, it's not a bad thing. But then again, the cow can say there's a time and place for it. I believe say the ministry where for they in charge of that inauguration, if we don't work with them and I don't see them, you hear what then they do, then you bring in your own opinion, so that we need to know say waiting them assign them for now their own responsibility for them make sure say that inauguration was a success. but instead for look like for say you the step of unfortunately many Sierra Leoneans look and say you step the boundaries of allowing them for execute their own assignments versus you stepping on and say, okay, because my husband not the president, so I would just go ahead and I call them. The other concern with Sierra Leoneans them get now the expenditure. Many they look and say there was no account to the expenditure in terms of the I call them I don't know how I will put them in a layman term where I'm not gonna lost people them, but the expenditure, and at the end of the day, people then go look and say there was no account, and then again, many go look and say it should have been a specific department way for be handled all dandy. So dandy again, not a weakness. Now, before I go further to the next one, I did bring we financial risk analyst na insef give your take on this, and I get other audios them way I will share with you now. I will pause for now and try for get Mr. Alfred Sanko for na insef give in take. Unfortunately, as in I know Facebook they allow for now we join, but like I say, this will change soon. And they allow for now we join other people them, so I will get them through the phone. Yes, Mr. Alfred, welcome. For those who are not familiar with you, kindly introduce yourself, sir.
Me, Alfred Senior, can call me Senior actually. Yeah, kind of like people know me for strangely Cashbox. It wasn't meant to be my name, but I accept them now anyway. So yeah, can kind of like normally produce Cashbox anyway. So yeah, we fumble him on a good evening.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, Mr. Sanko. I know I'll call you Conte today. We call it the best of you do. Okay. I think you get a device in the background, so they give like a.
So yeah, I just tried to turn it off.
Wonderful.
Sorry.
That's okay. So welcome again, sir. So and I should say you know they listen to what I've been saying in terms of the open statement and some of the pros and the con of we First Lady, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, sir. So I want you to jump in terms of the financial part and any other thing where you want to say where they affect your country right now, because then in a young part, in a young area. So come in, sir. Welcome once again.
Well, you see, Khadija, usually people like can feel say maybe, when we talk about the financial part, like, get any bearing to like social impact or like political impact. Like every financial impact where a country they face, it get direct correlation with the political atmosphere of that country. I make like for make a country become successful financially, every other aspect has to be taken into consideration, like the social impact, as I say, like the political atmosphere of the country, even the health system of the country, even the education of the country. These are all things really affect like the economy of a country, i.e. like the financial side of the country. Even the thing we talk about now, like we artists them and all the thing. And these are things like we at the moment, even like a country like Nigeria, like I remember a few months ago, I've been listening to somebody where they talk about like e-commerce, salon, how we lost revenues there. Like artists them, like Nigerian artists them, they make so much money from like the iPhone, from the YouTube, because remember every time the songs that be played on YouTube or the iPhone app and all that in a day, or like the Spotify, I mean, they make money from it. They get royalty from it. So, like we go see and see sometimes these things are not kind of like, and when they get money, then they pay tax on the country where they reside. So you go see and say sometimes, get like an impact now to the economy, but it gets like a direct impact now we can't see. And like this whole idea we need to talk about like the artists them being promoted and for make we they use other artists them, foreign artists them now we own country business. This all the kind of like kill revenue collection that we country with the business in term to the first lady, maybe because it's in a first month in power, maybe like they don't actually understand all lengths in the day. But the one particular direct impact we want to talk about towards the end of you opening remarks about the expenditure. You know, like we can't deny a situation where they say we just not care about being accountable. In fact, as we speak right now, the Auditor General report supposed to don't come out because, in fact, like if I remember last year, the audit report for 2017 come out. I think the issue on the 8th of December. So basically today is the 7th, and of course like tomorrow being the 8th, it's on the Sunday, so it means like we don't get forget that. But me not get too press on that because the constitution that we currently give the Auditor General up to the 31st of December the following year for make a report, for make a audit opinion about the affairs of how the country they don't run the country for the previous year. So like it's really about being accountable when it comes to expenditure. People let the talk say they give the first lady, it was 3 billion or so for just the opening ceremony. I don't know, I can't remember, but if I remember rightly, they were saying like about 3 billion, and again it wasn't accounted for. Although I don't say it not be accounted for because I am waiting for the auditing report for come out for make a kind of like able make a judgment on that.
Wonderful. So waiting okay, I know say you're not the financial man, but waiting you been think about how we Sierra Leonean artists them many been look at say they're not being prioritized when it comes to we inauguration compared to that of we Nigerian brothers and sisters them or the celebrities them we come from Nigeria.
Well, you see, Khadija, it is sad that everything about Sano don't be politicized. And when I say everything, you know, I issue like an audio today where I been trying for talk about the saboteurs them that we country where we say every time APC can have power, the people when are sympathizers of SLPP will always try for sabotage the APC government, and then and vice versa. So it's not just one-sided. So even within this music industry, you will find out say the same thing they exist today. You know, like we will get like I don't want to kind of like point fingers at any artist or whatever, but at the moment I believe say like there are few artists that they were blatantly kind of like or obvious for say that they now answer. We see the likes of Caldinero, like he kind of like takes sides because towards the end of the year, like the last election, which is fair enough. I mean, it is normal. Even in America, we see that they happen. In Nigeria, it happens. But after election, we go back and then we unify everything. But with Salon, when once one person don't take sides, I mean, there is no go back, like because the politician and they use them for propagate the messages them. And for me, like I think it was completely wrong for making me say the term we get foreign artists them we can for celebrate. Where I believe so that moment was celebrating Salon, was celebrating our culture, celebrating our president. So forget like maybe to me I be feeling like the first lady be slightly carried away because it feels says that he want kind of like show in power, say, oh, I've been on work with the people there. I just want to show that the connection where I get, which again it can get a positive side to it because it's possible to say because we never accept say the Nigerian artists are bigger than the Sierra Leonean one, so maybe it can be the type of creates that connection or that bridge between Sierra Leone and Nigeria for make we kind of like say and say we can get help from Nigeria, which is a good thing. So it's not all like negative. However, maybe it was just the wrong occasion for the wrong way for create that bridge there. Because when you talk about the inauguration, it's all about Sierra Leone. Maybe somebody will say, well, this is for us. Let's promote our artists. Or maybe if even the artists they are come, the witness up, make them see the artists them take the center stage, for make them kind of like begin to identify the talents that when they get and try for being. But for make them take the center stage and perform and do all that, and they maybe it's slightly wrong. But as I say, people like interpret them differently. But for me on personal view is, this is a person like now we continue business. Let's promote our artists. Let's promote like everything that for make you don't say like it's all about Sierra Leone. When you look at it, the first lady in an interview where you just played, it make mention say, but the national anthem go be sung by a Sierra Leonean artist, which tells you that it is a Sierra Leonean thing. So I mean, it's all well and good for make the artists there. We invite the Omotola and things like that. Can witness that it, but like make we artists them be the one the way they drive the show.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. I want to also play some of your audio them, one of which you mentioned, being that you're not the finance guy before I let you go. Now play this one for the one they will not been get the opportunity for listening to one today.
Maybe family on a good evening again. This na on a program Salon Cashbox. Me family today na the 7th of December, and this na me second audio for today. Me family I not be intend for send 2 audios them today, but like na something we just cross me pathway and we don't see them or they make wave na the social media for the last week or so. We I can bring to una today very quickly. My family, this thing we I want to talk about we currency, we people and they say when they put the social media and everywhere say we currency don't go to 9,500. But waiting I see today, my family, when somebody sent to me now we say oh we currency there at 9,500 and the government also they predict say they give go to 7,500 by the 20th of December, which is this month. You know, me family, I want come and can explain waiting the currency and how floating currency we be said we leons, we currency we use now we country now a floating currency. Me family, a floating currency it's kind of like they go up and down based on the market factors then. Now, so currency they go up and down based on market factors then, my family. And my family, waiting I mean by the market factors there. Now, we call any floating currency supposed to go up and down based on waiting they actually happen with the economy of that particular country then. My family, you know, like the question we need for ask now this. Waiting at the market value, the market factor or factors we don't drive we leons for strengthening against the dollar. Waiting that the market factor or factors them we don't drive the leons for appreciate against the dollar. This is the question we need for us this government. Because we family I want to make salon people kind of like be very, very aware of, very conscious of, be careful for no say, and they suspect say this government because of the pressure way that they get and because of all the thing them way they're capable for do be family, and they suspect say currency manipulation gets for take place now we country. And the family way down there happen, now a recipe for disaster. Now, like something there, now a time bomb when they wait for explode. Because my family, we get for no one thing. The reason why make we currency, and I been expect that. The reason why make we currency, suppose or for the go down in December, we all know, and we all go know that because of the Christmas. And my family, the biggest thing problem when people get, like some people we need for stop for making the full win. And I thank God we be sensitive. Me self they play me really nothing knowledge for make sense. I try for kind of like make people understand certain thing them. My family, currency is not a seasonal commodity. What do I mean by a seasonal commodity? Currency not like ice cream, where only they sell during the dry season. Currency not like raincoat, where only they sell during the rainy season. My family, a currency not a seasonal commodity. It's supposed to, even for being like embarrassing for making me say, we government kind of like they even the gladdy where it be say we currency appreciate during December. Because my family, as I've been on the top, the biggest thing that we investors they afraid that like how volatile your currency be. What do I mean by volatile? How it change quickly, how it change rapidly, how often it change. Because as a responsible government or a bank, what do you need for do now for stop this variability, this volatility now your currency where Christmas time come? Because a currency is not a seasonal commodity. Because the family are waiting for Apple, the governor supposed to put in place when Christmas they come, it's supposed to put in place for make like the currency not move too much. Because they waiting investors they don't like that volatility, that for make the currency they go up and down. That they don't like. So the family for me they even gladdy for say we currency don't go to 9,500 just because about the season. It is very, very dangerous. And the currency not supposed to be a seasonal commodity, as I say. Where I talk about dry season for ice cream and raincoat for rainy season. The family, the question we need for us, waiting at the market value, the market factor, where don't drive with currency for appreciate. The family, there is none. If I have to answer that question then. And I want to make anybody that the government challenge me on this for tell me say any market factor don't they wait for drive with currency go for making appreciate. Because the family the thing that when they drive currency like mostly or mainly now like it's like inflation, we don't say we inflation it is up right now. Like interest rate. However, like the interest rate you go say because of that the way how interest rate they drive currency for making come. If you kind of like increase your interest rate comparatively to how it be there, then it comes to make you currency appreciate. The basis behind that is the fact that when you increase interest rate, you encourage people for go into your bank and go invest there for many and more interest. But that's in there, interest rates not increase comparatively to the previous months. So that is back not a factor. Before we go talk about government debt. We all know, but World Bank will issue a report quite recently where it tell we say we debt the increase. Even the budget when they read, they tell we say we debt the increase. Before we go talk about the current account. We go talk about like the investment flow. We go talk about like the trade deficit and all that thing in there. All that thing there really don't improve now we country for making able to drive with currency. We go talk about also the political stability in our country. Where is the political stability in our country? Where from one election to the other, like Keke when they go beat Keke White today, they go beat opposition party them tomorrow. Who side of the political stability where for drive this currency for make it kind of like appreciate? The family, the only reason for make I answer the question why we currency go appreciate a little bit now because of December, because we only really nothing them what we send from different country them sending us alone for we people them and they allow in the calls for make like we the people and demand more folios we go make we currency appreciate a little bit. But the dangerous thing, the family, a currency, a floating currency should never, ever be a seasonal commodity. Because, in fact, waiting for the happen, because there is no real market factor when they don't drive with currency for appreciate. Waiting for happen, the moment when December they come, we bank suppose for kind of like increase interest rates and able kind of like put measures in place for make with currency kind of like stable to how it always been there. Because you're not supposed to allow them. So basically, it's you go increase interest rates, increase certain things when they starve people for make sense like the currency not kind of like move too much because a currency not supposed for be red goat or ice cream. It's not supposed for be a seasonal commodity. Before the question we are left to we all. Where it be seen, they seen on social media, when it's no good, where it be seen just because as a result of December. Before we just wait in January, February, where we see exactly who side we currency get for day. Because it go revert back to a natural state until we fix certain thing that we like. In fact, like the number one team, we will always allow for make you currency, especially emerging market them or developing countries that investment flow. Now it calls for make you you currency appreciate. The one question we left today to we people to all manners alone waiting that the market factor. We don't drive with currency for appreciate. Because just December, just Christmas alone is a very, very bad thing for make with currency appreciate. Because a currency, before due to seasonal commodity. Before this is not on the program, Salon Cash Box. And let we be wise and see, say, if we don't take them, currency manipulation will take place because of the pressure where this government they face right now. Because the right things that be done for me we fix with currency. The family, this is not on the program, Salon Cash Box, and God bless we all.
All right. Fellow Sierra Leone, and I would just come or viewers then beyond the Sierra Leone community, and I'll welcome once again. And I would just come when they play an audio from we financial risk analysis when Mr. Alfred Sankor of United Kingdom. So now I want to come back in. Mr. Sankor, I've been wanting you come for the layman where they watch this, where they talk about currency manipulation and appreciation and depreciation. No, just put on that way. If you can go into like a bit of a detail, or for the one that we're not too good into, as you good with the mathematics, then you give a better understanding of waiting you better try for deliver to the general public for now go understand.
Thank you very much, Jackie. As you say, you kind of like maybe you pass at least like your viewers, then maybe say I don't get the kind amount of people there if we can listen to your show. So, thank you very much for being a great marketing manager today.
Oh, my pleasure.
You see, Khadija, basically what you have to try for say, like I see news they make around, they say we currency, we Leon store kind of like, because you remember a few months ago they said the dollar reached about 1,020,000 or something like that.
Absolutely.
So and then today like the whole of this week people were saying that the dollar don't count to 9,500, like this is the right direction, this is like the best way to go about things. Like people do not actually kind of like see and say why it even gets to 1 million in the first place. And now when it gets to 9,500, people say, okay, now the government do great things. But it's not, it is bigger than that. People, team them with, waiting to drive currency appreciation, basically where they talk about appreciation is basically like, in other words, we give less leons for buy $1. So that is the appreciation. And then the depreciation that we give more leons for buy $1. So in other words, if we give 1 million, if we give 1 million 2 weeks ago, now we give 950,000. It means we leons to appreciate against the dollar. So people feel.
So for that, in a village, we will say.
Yeah.
Leons don't value again, right? Not put on that way different,
yes.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Leons don't value again because like now we dey give less leons for buy $1, basically. Like we leons don't value again. But waiting people in the field for realize, naturally, especially like developing countries, them because like not so like the kind country they are. Waiting have the time for say, currency not supposed to be this seasonal commodity. I mean, I give example when you have the time to talk about like ice cream. You notice say ice cream like it always they sell the tender way when a dry season because the place hot. Then you will get like raincoat or like we all country like the part of the side where we said you provide also like their jackets and they sell more during the winter season and stuff like that. And currency not supposed to act that way because currency not supposed to be like a seasonal commodity. Like waiting investors then freed more. Like I make an audio a few months ago where people have been criticized with currency in depreciation and stuff like that. Yes, when your currency depreciates and being like a net importing country, it always disadvantageous for make we get like a less valued currency. However, waiting investors that they freed most now, like the one thing what they call like volatility. Basically, how often we currency they change. Basically, we don't get no like it kind of like they go up and down like too frequently. This is waiting investors and they freed most because they afraid for making like currency because like at times where it be say like your currency depreciates, it even beneficial to a country to some extent, and it depends like if you the export, because like for instance like China always want to make their currency kind of like depreciate against the dollar because they are net exporting country. And if you notice like recently I mean, even now, Donald Trump and Jerome Powell, we now the Fed chairman, we now the equivalent of bank governor in America. They all two like they always defend because Jerome Powell always they left the interest rates in America high, and Donald Trump when he left the interest rates high, it caused to make the dollar become stronger against other competitive currency them. And Donald Trump no want that because waiting that mean it make like the export, the American produce them, they become more expensive when they were export to other countries them. And this that the thing will make Donald Trump in fact he even call Jerome Powell like a worse enemy than the president of North Korea.
You see this man.
Exactly, because like he know like exactly the impact we get. However, we are country like we are net importing country, and we cannot afford for make we currency kind of like the depreciate. But waiting at the time for say like the way people see one caption where they even say we currency go even go down to 7,500 by 20th of December. Khadija, that is not possible. And if it have ever happened, and they suspect say currency manipulation they take place in our country, because they would always go inside the bank and for try for kind of like manipulate the currency. And when we do that, that is like a recipe for disaster because it will come back and haunt we big time. Because waiting we go through right now, if you don't take them now, just a tiny bit. And we country, like I don't want to drag this to other thing. I just want to kind of like stay to the point. Like we need for kind of like say. The only thing we go make, and especially for developing countries, the only thing we drive the currency in that investment flow. Like now, for make we get investors then for ready for our country. And the question where we for ask ourselves, do we have the atmosphere for make investors then be attracted to Salon? I don't know the answer to that. I mean, make people be the judge for that, because every time like you try to talk about that, people say you're being political about it. Like when I see the commission of inquiry, like the way we go about it, will make you go get a value where they can see can value this person equals. And one point where I want to make about this commission of inquiry, Khadija, this is something that I've always been critical about, and the reason why I always been critical about commission of inquiry is because it brings instability in our country, because the nature of the politics being like on the tribal line, on the regional line, like it cause like instability in our country. And I can always give reference to Magufuli in Tanzania. Magufuli was part of the government who have been corrupt inside Tanzania, but he won the election and then ever go and begin fed corruption from USA a day. But now with the situations and we like with the chief minister, you like one thing I mean the talk say like 95% I believe say it's if that money, but like as of today, after the harassment with they give the journalist and all that, and in fact you interviewed the journalist few weeks back. Like that tell me like 100% believe say something wrong with the chief minister too. But not to that side I want to go. But the point I want to make now about this valuation of the commission of inquiry. Khadija, this is the thing with this government they use a lot of theory for one way country. When you look at the valuation, how we inquire, we try to check whether past ministers embezzle the country in money for acquire wealth. If, for instance, like this person on Billy Owens in 2000, like in 2002, of IMAT. In 2002, Khadija, IMAT na be bush. IMAT na be side cobra in the league, side snake in the league. Like at the time when the person go buy in land, he go tell you say he even buy in land for like 5 million. But right now, if you want to go on an IMAT, it will cost you not less than like maybe $10,000 for a plot of land that I'm at. So the value of the house when this person built in 2002, it could not get a very, very high value right now compared to when it be built in 2002.
Absolutely.
How the value of that house today, they tell me say that this is the positive for building that house. How?
Yeah. I think that is an excellent point, because even here, like around, the places like United Kingdom and USA, I believe saying that the same thing. Like for an example, when you buy a car, the minute you drive on outside of the parking lots, it depreciates. But when it comes to a house, it appreciates, So absolutely, that's an excellent point. Yeah, go on, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, but this is the point we are trying to make, where we need to create the atmosphere. All this valuation, it calls unnecessary political tension that we continue. Because for me, the commission of inquiry, we don't need a valuer. All we need, let me say, okay, we don't accept say the commission of inquiry for go on. But what do you need a valuer for? You don't need a valuer for able to assess waiting this positive. What do you need a valuer for? Basically, like, I don't come to a conclusion where we say, we find them people that are guilty. Now they can't decide to sell this house. That's not the time when you need a valuer. But you cannot go get a valuer where you say you try for check if this person don't take the money. I feel like a scenario one time where I talk say, basically, waiting this, what would I call a valuer? Basically, this guy will tell we say, we are not finding people that are guilty, because the commission of inquiry is supposed to not find them say they actually take the money for being left post there. The commission of inquiry not they can find out what the people left post worth. That is not the purpose of the commission of inquiry.
Okay.
So that's unnecessary tension in the cause of the country. And to me, I give one scenario where I talk about Ariogo. It's like I say, I will call Ariogo for catch which man. Then what can find the Ariogo tell me say, which man them I'm not able to find una come on do now for una say. Because this is exactly what he tell me. Now I'm not able Ariogo not able to find the which man them. Now the Ariogo now they can make a pronouncement to the which man they say.
Yeah. So the other thing Abuwana we talk on before I left you, and for now we go further into the First Lady analysis. Abuwana also now you bring Yusefion take on the budget of for 2020, and the specific one where we bring how you call them mixed Sierra Leoneans, they go crazy, having to do with saying that they want give the rights to the president, the vice president, and the speaker of parliament, and okay for them to spend as they please without any account. You being the experts in your area, I wanted you.
Some things in our country are laughable, I should say, because like I remember when that thing they broke out, when the news broke out, I make an audio where I tell people and say, listen, we will not make a big deal out of this. The very day I remember, I think the audio where I make, I still remember, is the 20th of November where I make the audio. I think the news broke out on the 19th or something like that, or the very day. I make a note to people and say, listen, we are not at tonight with this thing. This thing are just like a political game. The president not gets for sign up. And this is exactly very the way come out attack. I make a plate say the president okay for sign up because they just one kind of like play a political game with we. Khadija, we need for no one thing. We finance minister we will get now we country. Unfortunately, it work for the president rather than Sierra Leone because he always they try for appease the president. If we remember sometime last year, we this very moment, the Christmas, this finance minister gave president about almost billion for make it go Keguna village for go spend for Christmas. This time finance minister will go always spending them for make it please the president. Khadija, there is no way this bill go to parliament where the president not be ever see her. The president be see her. The president be aware of her. The president be sign her. It be endorser for make the parliament, for make the finance minister Kerago. But me, the game where we be see permitting, it be just one make the parliamentarian the way be select. You know, like one thing, my biggest enemy there right now in the salon, I know they blame the executive. My biggest enemy in the parliament. Because I give one scenario today, my earlier you way I talk say, you know, like it just not like where you get cow and small full of a ball. Where it be say like the cow, it'll be stupid for make it be say if it only it know the get what he get for say that small full of a we all out before it know say that small full of a week back. This is exactly what we how we parliaments they act. We parliaments are that cow. But with the cow they allow small full of a way able book number and corner for make this small full of a body controlling line. Because we parliaments not actually know the role as a part of a government. You know, like these presidents been do that thing deliberately. If we do because if we know what thing be they go on, why you not stop him for making even go to the parliament in the first place? Before that, waiting with information minister we can tell we he say this thing be always don't be the case where it be say the president and they get like impress system where they like an impressed way like they know kind of like the accounts for. It is not true. Khadija, like even the 2017 audit report, I think if I remember rightly, because I mentioned I'm like our audio in page 13 of the 2017 report with the issue 2018, the auditor general kind of like make he talk extensively about like the money when they give the president. So for me to tell we say like that money that they don't ever be accountable for, it is just a cheap lie. These are the things that we know like into with politics and salon. Why first of all they go give the president like a free money for making them able to account for him? It is just like a game where they play. And the finance minister and the parliamentarian in back, they fall for that game day. And maybe they will say the president don't be careful sign them anyway. Because like this president gets 10,000 way, it can go like make the country. The president is done our country. Always it's travel because he will always get per year where he make money out of it. And this not the thing. Khadija, anyway, you know what? Like I just want to conclude and say that this was just a political game. And it is because the president see him before he go to parliament, he signed him before he go to parliament. So if it be one make if it be not saying that he wrong for the country, then enough for me don't kind of like even sign them in the first place.
Thank you, sir. Since you make mention of you other audio where you make earlier, for the one they will not get the opportunity for listening to them, I go do them, I go play them, and then you go elaborate a little bit on it, and then I go let you go. Then we'll focus on the critiquing or analyzing the First Lady in good moments, in not so good moments, and so on and so forth. Hold on.
Good morning. This
And I saw you. Make us start some back. Sorry, guys. Uh-oh. Okay.
Salon cash box. We fumble them today in the 7th.
Mauritania, where at least
No, sorry. Okay.
Me fambolem una good morning. This na una program Salon Cashbox. Me fambolem today na the 7th of December 2019. The people I want to come talk about a few things them. One, that the chief minister issue, and also I just want to talk about this commission of inquiry about the valuation again. If I also want to raise some few things them where, you know, we don't be told, say, certain things that they way this government they do and try for achieve. You know, I want to come and talk about this chief minister issue where it be say we as Sierra Leoneans them we they play with something where they affect the culture, the way where the country they go, where it be say we they destroy the mentality where it be say acceptable for make like people they embezzle with money, they thief with money, and then we still they kind of like they glorify them people in our society. If I want make we kind of like sit back and think about this chief minister issue. You know, I don't make about more than 2 audios them about like the events them we happen for make we know say something fishy actually go on with like the ACC boss, the chief minister, and somebody even somebody they talk say, well, if I don't know whether they talk and say, well, if you don't sack the chief minister, it means you're part of it. It means the president is part of it. Before you know, like some people go face this attempt at this like an attack or at the try for have a go. You know, like it would be stupid since the very first day when this thing come out. Like there is no way this thing the president don't know about him. Like there is no way. You know, before I want make we know back. So this chief minister no go do anything.
No, sorry, yo.
No go do anything where it be say the president don't know about. This not just something where they say God come up here and person. Before you know, the sequence of events that will happen, like since this thing kind of like broke out, you know, like we get the anti-corruption man we call the journalist, they try for intimidate them in a way. Then like before we see even like last week, they kind of like go 2 weeks ago they go broke the guy, the journalist able to kind of glass them. Then last week before we see this week this week before they invite the journalist again as CID. They try for intimidate them again. They tell us say the guy need for kind of like pull all the evidence them when it gets to them. You know, before this kind of like make us say, wait till they go on with we country. You know, before they tell us say I mean 95% believe say this chief minister something he do something wrong with this 1.5 billion. Now before 100% I believe say this chief minister a thief with money that we country or he accept bribe. You know, before when we look at this, you know, I listened one part the government's strategic information guy we I don't know what's my name Josise or so we be the talk 98.1 they try for talk say the journalist Saliu Jallo I believe say Saliu Jallo just they try for defame the character of the chief minister and all that in the day. But if I want make we think let me sit back. Why this journalist up till now the chief minister no sue? Let me take the government out of it. Let me say the chief minister. When this government, Josise, they talk, I believe the name Josise, they defend Why they don't sue the journalist up till now for like defamation of character? If not so the lawyer they kick all up. You see me family, but I didn't blame no that you know make that to me. The old mess when they go now we country, that we parliament with dysfunctional. You know me family, this thing don't arise. Not one parliamentarian don't ever raise this issue in parliament for make the chief minister go answer question in parliament. Not one. The family that you know that this me back in they say for Massa Gidi for Lepet, not only that the thing, the other they go put on a boat. Everybody they talk about this chief minister issue right now. We all know Mass the Agidi, but now that the parliamentarian the way for go put the Agidi and the Lepet about, they cannot. They're afraid. For even bring that issue, they feel say the anti-corruption big past them. You know what I mean? If I'm that this somebody tell me then they are where would they talk say, you know, cow, it don't know the power where it get. You see cow at times small full of boy. They all up. The full of all big the cow in the waka before the cow they go and make like I say in a big fool. Now this is exactly what they go on with parliament. With parliament don't know the power where they get. The cow don't know the power where they get. Then they allow small full of more for able to control them. The day before we can see where cow craze. That I can't see it. Not even craze. When the cow take a role as a cow, all man they run. Where you taking role? Before that, waiting they say the cow don't craze. Not crazy craze. The cow just know a right and take a role. They kind of like don't realize it. You know what? You small full of money coming they control me life all the time. This is exactly what they go on now with parliament before Mulem. The parliament don't know the rule. From when this thing arise, not one parliamentarian don't bring this issue up about the chief minister because they feel say the chief minister is superior. They don't get mind talk up the parliament for when the chief minister go answer question. Why this journalist will una say that like don't kind of like why una not kind of like sue the guy for libel? If una feel say chief minister is that innocent, me family. Why up till now the chief minister don't sue the journalist? Why up till now? Before that they never intimidate the guy, then they broke the guy in motorcar and glass, then they kind of like invite the guy in a CID, pass away the sludge president. Now ain't go talk for me the pull the guy. Why if you don't feel say this guy make up story? Why?
And I'm sorry, you apologize.
Why if you don't feel say this guy make up story? Why for everyone's sake on not sue? For everyone's sake on not sue this guy up till now? The family, you see, we Sierra Leoneans say we allow too much for happen that we country. This is the reason why the poor man in the market, the poor picking when they that school, when they don't get proper medical health facility within our country because we cannot speak up. You know, the family, I remember this when they launched this education budget. I see like the first lady, it kind of like donate almost million or almost billion. They say they donate 1 billion or something like that, or something or 100 million towards the education. We see other ministers there, we see other head of MDs them, they donate. Before we don't ever ask the question if them people there don't give the money them, will they be donate? Because I don't see that the budget at all. Before that, when they talk about grants, when they come out from other countries, how about the donations when the people there be make against the education budget? Where the money them? You see the family, we easy for be fool that our country day. When they see people and they come up, I remember the time when they launch free education, every minister, past 100 ministers and head of departments will donate against towards the education budget. Where their money they do, we don't ever ask the question before bullet. We they see valuation. You know that this I can see how valuation they are concerned with the commission of inquiry. How? Because the commission of inquiry is about money they will not embezzle, when they don't thief. The past government allegedly when I say they don't thief. So we are supposed to inquire how the value of the host rights now get for do with waiting the thief for build the host. How? Before that, we did cheap popularity, publicity them before make like the government for make when they clap for and say, oh yes, they don't do well. Before I want to make salon people we begin to think, like say, we were once called the anthems of Africa. This is a place where people they go for go study. We get the mindset for think. Why we don't they think? Why would they allow think them for making them the stupid way? You know, before you just I just see where people they talk about somebody they talk say, oh, if APC can have power, if this can have power, all this boil down to like the parliament. We just feel say the parliament then they allow small full abobo, the cow they allow small full abobo for all rope, all the neck, they work before confident one. Because the parliament no do a role, the cow no do a role. You don't say a big and get straight past the small full of where all that open before. Before we say like waiting the corn now we can't see now. Now we tell you for come SLPP they afraid for employ any or put anybody, even though the person get the know-how, for put anybody in the position where they deserve for day. Because SLPP they afraid say this person who can sabotage we. It just like when we get story about the Sadusu, we get the story about Matthew Dingy or so. We get the story about Suare when I be the procurement man, when the Ministry of Health, when they even banned because of that Ebola money. They all now they sabotage the previous government. Yeah, but I don't blame them when they sabotage them. Now because the parliament don't know a role. Because when the parliament do a proper oversight, even the people there, it don't matter whether you put SLPP or APC person in a position. If these people are properly they audit them properly, they don't go able they sabotage or they thief for sponsor their own party. But not just because of the lack, the broken institutions where we get our country, then they make we country they be destroyed. Now we don't get a pattern where AB say when SLPP come, they don't trust no APC person, even though they say this person best fit for this position, they don't go put on the now APC go say and say we don't learn we lesson. Now SLPP don't know waiting they do APC, so they don't go able kind of like put anybody that any strategic position. This is the reason why when they get complained for say, oh, they sack them people there, they sack the northerners them because of the culture where we don't build. The culture the way they Sajusu they don't portray in our country. The culture where the dingy they don't portray in our country. The Swahili them, the Sandi them, all these people. When they don't kind of like go inside APC and kind of like sabotage their country just because of party. Then, of course, SLPP will do the same thing. They will not allow anybody for go close. Even though we say this person good, but just because the face says you get your party alliance, side where you did, they would not want to put you there. So waiting the happen, we put bed around all, we know they ever enter. The family we country we need for begin to think. We need like brand new mindset. We go develop we country. The family this is on a program, Salon Cashbox, and God bless we all.
Hello, okay. Fellow Sierra Leoneans and viewers beyond the Sierra Leone community, in our way they just come in. They open as in a note in a basically analysis of we First Lady in pros and in cons, and then also we get the financial analyst of the Critical Thinking Talk Show with we, Mr. Alfred Sanko of United Kingdom, where na audio have been the play, where himself been the part of we, and as just they bring him back on. Mr. Sanko, welcome back, sir. So I be done the play that you order audio. So I want to know if you want to elaborate a little bit before I left you, and we continue on with the analysis of we First Lady. Come back in, sir. Welcome.
Well, Khadija, I guess like the audio, hopefully I hope say like it speak for himself. I believe say it was just make people able to understand what the whole issue with they go on with like chief minister and the issue with they go on. I be just the try for saying anything. Salon we for don't pass the level there and let we able assess, let we able kind of like look at things and say with this whole chief minister in business, something the way fishy we go on. And if nothing, if the chief minister been that innocent as like the try for tell we, and it just be the time for say why make this chief minister not actually kind of like sue this journalist for defamation of character or for libel. Me don't know it's not the libel law right now. It was progress where they don't make with them. But maybe it not even get to libel issue because like the guy be only the cross check with him. And how did him go out of proportion? Now because of maybe certain of waiting the chief minister no way we don't know. So like waiting I mean the guy for say like Khadija. Now for make we just able get a parliament where we go able to bring this issue. Because in a way, let we assume, even though the journalist is not the whistleblower here, let we assume say the parliament for take and say the journalist don't be the whistleblower. The role of the parliament now for say, okay, we need for call the chief minister to question. But the parliament don't get mind for even bring that topic there. Maybe it's a tell me no, because like I don't follow the parliament on a daily basis now we country. But surely I want to believe say if they don't make coming for me don't deny the news. But like not one parliamentarian Kadika has brought this thing up to the parliament for say the mandate for calm for questioning at the parliament. Waiting with parliaments they do. With parliament supposed to become powerful, supposed to be powerful than the anti-corruption. Like in the end country they are where we day, you they see like the FDI and all that in the but even the FDIs, they call them for make them kind of like go to America. You get like the MI5, MI6 now the UK where they always like so they're even the parliament is powerful. Anything where suspicious will happen, the parliament get the right for call that person they for can question them. But I mean, Khadija, we can't see. As I say, it is like an institutional problem now we get in our country. But I know one kind of like take your time for you show and I hope say people and kind of like the audio kind of like speak for itself and be quite clear. And I just want to make people like know say we can't get for don't pass this stage and we need for move forward. This is the 21st century. We need for kind of like say, we need for make we country be progressive and let me take we country to another level. This is not about going after SLPP. This is not about supporting APC. This is not about supporting NGC. This is about Salo. We get a very bright future ahead of us. Waiting we need for do now for kind of like take the opportunity. All the opportunity where the likes of Ghana they take. Imagine like the audio where you play about Hassan Sisi, the honorable with the ban. You see the speaker of the house boldly they talk say we need for take the man out of the country for make it get proper medical facility. That in itself, Khadija, waiting that they tell you but we can't see. Yeah. For make you see a speaker, they tell we say, oh, we need for take this man out of the country for proper medical facility. Waiting that they tell you. When I listen the speaker like me heart break, Khadija, because I see and say, so the poor Pekin waiting at the country there. Like then they take routine medical facility. Then the MP, fair enough. I mean, like it get live and then all that in it. But if you be left to me one grade, maybe they almost sit down at the corner, then they look after her. Yeah. Because for me, you the speaker they tell we say for me it go oversee for go get proper medical facility. Waiting that in itself, it is mind like it disturbs me. Yes. And this have been always the talk say we can't see, we don't take like everybody, like if you watch the ministers, the parliamentarians, most of them, if they get the way, they will face them picking and can oversee for can land book, but yet still in the same free education. But none of them picking and then they go to the school and win a free education. If not, they all they go private school. So what is the point? Fair enough, this is an empty way September like that. They just go back and run just like that. But again, we need for land lesson, make them go to the corners. In fact, they do well for us for the Kerango annex. If I mean that what sending for the Kerango, when I go see exactly the treatment where the lame man that comes in the gets now what say. They don't go Kerango annex.
So now just given the obvious of how African politics they play, right? Could it possibly be that some of these parliamentarians then gets good intention or then can want speak on things them way issues them where they affect Sierra Leoneans them, but in the case or the example of Honorable Hassan Sisi, where been they use in ability or in I call in position for say I am here for the Sierra Leonean people for make sure say we do the right thing. When they using vocal for speak out on relevant issue them, at the end of the day we see the result of him being taking that bold step. So could it be also, the way that the African politics they play, their life being in jeopardy, they are not safe, of them taking that step for say, I want to do the right thing, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be threatened or my family life will be in jeopardy, that type of stuff. What do you think about that?
Well, you see, absolutely, Khadija. And by the way, this is not me being nasty towards this man. I feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
And I just use him now as like a scapegoat for kind of like puts them all in the same bracket. Because this is one of the MP them way very vocal for, like, I mean, you play the audio way with the talk, but like now they say for invite the bank governor and the finance minister, but I just don't kind of like put them all in the same bracket, right? And obviously, like, waiting happen to them, so we all forget worried for we parliamentarian the way they make laws them for we, because in other words, like the non-pan not safe. And waiting this the try for tell we is the moment you begin talk, we will send somebody for your life, which is dangerous for we country. And I understand that we need to respect them, because even similarly, so something similar thing that happened at the UK right now, where we say, like, in fact, we get an MP few, I think a year or two ago, one woman with a kid. Like we say, like, these are worrying things there. But like you say, they're not safe. Obviously. And we get some, and by the way, where are they try for go say they for go put on a 110? I'm just putting them all in one bracket, because what are they try for say, if we not care about the poor people and for me then go to annex or 110, now when they try for tell we say they go get a proper medical facility overseas. To me, it is that tells you all about we country. Like this method you always they talk. Yeah,
so yes, sir. So like that one day. Like how you say, for me personally, I look at now mixed feeling. I commend the Speaker of Parliament where it care enough for say this man go require better treatment, because unfortunately we country not well equipped for take care of the severity of the brutal attack where it suffer, you understand?
Absolutely.
Then like how you say, the other side of it is the obvious that we are not equipped, period, for take care of. And a good example where I will play later, there's a situation, I don't know if not been Kenema or recently, where a doctor volunteer for care for the Pekin in medical surgery. And then, unfortunately, after that, it been required, of course, after treatment, no, how you call them, medical personnel around for they save that Pekin in life. At the end of the day, from what I understand, the Pekin end up die. So, it's rather unfortunate. Yeah, come back in, sir.
This is the thing. Like when you see that kind of situation and they like that video the way you did talk about, so where like somebody play I think that kid it was in Pujan hospital.
Yeah.
Where like there's this mommy all in Pekin and just come out do operation for them. They say even the doctor now he using your money for able to do the operation and no nurses they not been there. You said these are the things them. But like nobody not pay attention for say this person let we care and go overseas in the urgent medical facility. The poor one them then they die. But una now way like now the affluent one, them way fortunate enough. Now then they think say for sending go overseas. Like don't get me wrong, Khadija. Even the country they would certain experts then they way like sided in the medical field where they go say, okay, let we carry and go France. Let we carry and go. But again, it always happens say that France back in kind of like that England, but it's very, very rare because they invest in the health system that the country. But unlike Africa now, every time all them people they always get like then they go na the camp oversee for medical assistance. Then beginning the camp na university them na oversee. All that thing in the una they talk about free education. This na the double standard way I know able understand. If una feel say na free and quality education, una send una pikin them go Brotherhood. Una send una pikin them, may they go UMass. Una send una pikin them, may they go Edwards. Una send una pikin them, may they go academy, may they go grammar school, if grammar school na private school. But this is not the point. If una feel say the school system is that powerful, why would they send them pikin and go private school? Why would they send them go overseas? Now because you don't trust the system. How you go rule a country when you don't trust? How? I don't get it. To be honest, maybe it's a time like I come across because like with politicians, them like I just, as I say, this guy I feel sorry for him, and when I listen to the audio, I feel sorry for him because he's vocal, he's trying to make the point, but it's just that I don't put politicians in all in one bracket and the need for do something, and especially like me on anger we I get for Salon now they blame me with parliament whether or not now because of the system of governance now in the cause that way we say the executive takes all the power, the winner take it all, maybe something that the cause to make the parliamentarian become dormant. I don't know.
Yeah, so again, a good example. So because like where I can analyze things, I know you want to do wearing a stereotype like everybody for being in the same equation.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes. So another example of, let's just say, Honorable Tawa, he happens to be a member of the current political party, but when you look at a stance where it take recently was for the betterment of Sierra Leone as a whole, or Sierra Leoneans.
Definitely.
You understand? But we see back again the after effect, if not that I go column, wherein that it is stand for the right thing. But at the end of the day, there was a lot of things then back again where they come then say against them, even though what him is saying are the truth. You see?
Yeah.
So it's like I believe say some of them are left in a situation where they're left with no other option but to compromise even their own responsibility or their assignment, because it's like them you do, them you don't. When you stand for the right thing, before other people then come, then commend you, and then and I work together for the betterment of the country. But you go see other person, they come back again and try for say,
This is not the funny thing where like that honorable time. I'm fearing of the first day where it criticized the whole money with the president. Like they talk where he say, oh, this could destroy the SLPP. Oh yeah, that is true. But however, it criticizes her. Then the amazing thing that when you get people like Lima, we come the social media, they talk say Honorable Tawa go against the ethics of the SLPP. So are you trying to tell us that speaking the truth, being truthful is not part of the ethics of SLPP? Then you get like Honorable Tarawali, we come and talk say, oh, Tawa, don't make a talk. Because if I talk, they go run after you with sticking at your constituency. Waiting there, because imagine this not the same way. Tarawali don't tell we say they get 70 million every month or something like that, or every quarter for go constituency. Then after that night, talk say, oh, no make a talk. So waiting this the time will tell we. Waiting Tarawali, no, where we don't know. When we say we supposed to know, he said no make we talk. Then the funny thing, you see Salon now a funny place. Now we see the ACC make like straight away they come and tell we say, oh, we did investigate the parliament, Tarawali and Honorable Tawa straight away. Then imagine the chief minister. The ACC not ever come and say with the investigator. You know what they tell we? After they get a statement from EcoBank, they tell we say they don't get nothing for investigate again. As long as they don't get statements from EcoBank. Is that how you do an investigation? You see this? Oh my God! This is not the thing we can make like at times. And they say, what's wrong with the country? Now you feel say because chief minister is the Lord Hoho, where he be say it's untouchable. Where he be say in your case, it bigger and it kind of like severe. The evidence are there, but you tell we say just because you get statements from EcoBank, that was enough. Where he be say even EcoBank the statements wouldn't give, it was a bit fishy. Before that you tell we say that's enough. You don't get nothing for investigating it. But when it comes to the parliamentarian, then you tell we say right now you dey investigate them.
So even
You see the double standard?
absolutely, the last show I make mention of that where I talk about conflict of interest because as the word is making it round saying that it's an alleged that the chief minister may help with now president for seat some of you exam them. That's an alleged hence the reason why obviously it get for show some type of loyalty to the chief minister. This is what Sierra Leoneans they think. So as a result, but like how you say, every Sierra Leonean will think and say, if we're new direction and we did work towards leaving a legacy of saying that corruption must die and in a very fair manner, then of course anybody we Sierra Leoneans are skeptical about or there's question, then for also follow the due process, which is the commission of inquiry, and then let it go clear in head day. But yeah, come back in, sir.
Well, you
Oh, sorry, sir. Not it. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
when people like in talk about witch hunt, I don't think want to play into that too much, but witch hunt, because me the only criticism where I get for the commission of inquiry and the fact that it bring instability in our country. So man will tell me say how will it bring instability? I always I don't talk about earlier compare with Tanzania, but the problem the other side we go look for the commission of inquiry, like Khadija again, and they refer you to the audit report we come out for 2017, we come out December 2018. They make clearly say they give we just so when in the current financial sector, they give $10 million for go pay with debts them. That money they ask when they speak today, they don't know the whereabouts of that money. They, we see likes of the guy when in the current procurement director with NPPA, if that's so they call him something soiree, when I be the procurement director for health during the past government, where they even ban them, where I think they Ebola money, they even ban them for take any public office. Then guy they accuse them for embezzle the country money. We see likes of them Dingy they not accuse them, but Dingy them like they were the director. Dingy they not be the director of budgeting in that salon. We see likes of them the Sandy them when the minister of lands now. We see I think in the current minister of agriculture or when I be the secretary to the president. These were all people that will be involved like into corruptive acts then, but not one of them. They kind of like push them for going to the commission of inquiry. Like that's just so it was so clear. And then we see statements when the government can do like a technical audit. And you see this again, people like you feel say you want to defend like the past government. But this not the thing we are not like like when we for me. Because when I don't say, even the one they want to get out of the government be involved in corruptive acts, we don't move on from we country for the sake of we country, then we push we country go before. Because like when you try to go back, when you cause this kind of like political tension at the country, and people will say, oh, so fighting corruption all of a sudden don't become political tension. No, it is not. The point where they try to make now, because of the nature of our politics, based on tribal line, regional line, even though you will do the same, you will do the right thing for the people, and because if you don't take the country money, it is right to make you pay them back. But because of the nature of our politics, when we get for change so quickly for make we country go before, we need for let bygones be bygones and do the Magufuli style and say at the start corruption from outside we pay and build infrastructures them where they stop what thing they happen in our country. Now cure with the cure corruption. We know they prevent corruption. We always the cure up. We always they wait until the pendulum becomes so deep. They will begin to put black and red capsule inside it. We know they try for saying, no go on aside where you go get some food. Before that, wait till they do. We wait until we get some food. They will begin to black and red capsule for that we so food. This is what is killing Sierra Leone, Khadija. And this is the point where I can always the try for saying we need for fix we country, prevent corruption, stop corruption from happening, and then let we build like an atmosphere where we able kind of like make we encourage people and invest now we can't.
Wonderful. I think I want to agree with you too in terms of for now we promote national cohesion, and now we set the example, like how they say the example they start at home. Charity begins
Yeah,
at home. If
absolutely.
if I was to make comparison with the then governance and now, the example of, let's say, His Excellency Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma during his administration, and you say, oh, it a quick for sack or it a change, whatever the case may be. For an
Yeah,
example of, let's say, Honorable Sylvia Blyden, if it gets an issue with in deputy, it makes sure say get rid of both of them. You understand?
yeah,
Whether it was
yeah,
good at that time, but because of the integrity of the governance, it look and say if find and deem necessary for do that. And another case of Honorable Mojo Kaikai and Honorable Attila, he did the same
yeah,
thing just for share some of the examples them, you understand?
yeah.
So sometimes they you get for kind of like, should I call it reprimand them, then go sit down
Yeah,
first, then think for say, okay, if we hold prestige position, these are the expectation. When you fall short, there are
yeah,
consequences we go follow. You understand? If
absolutely.
even we have to
Yeah,
come back again and reassign in a different department or the same department, but at the same time, there's step need for take for says for show Sarah Linens and say we're not gonna just give a blind eyes to certain things that are not okay by Sarah
yeah,
Lanians or looked as not being appropriate or the expectation way with a look at for these individual then we hold prestige position. But anyhow,
absolutely.
with that said, make I give you the opportunity again, whatever it is that you want add to the topic, because I know say very late, Tina. I appreciate you so much always. And whatever
That's
you want to
okay.
add, you and I also if you're not able, if you're not to go on site tomorrow, you can stick around though, because maybe I will bring you back. But I'll give you the opportunity for now you add whatever you want to add before we proceed to the topic. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, well, absolutely, like Khadija, like I would have loved to stay, but unfortunately, I get for go church that morning. But it's okay. I mean, like, well, I would say I go work for church. I won't cancel it, can't do the remaining sleep. But you see,
Yes.
Khadija, like always say, they say, salon people, let we try for look salon as a country where we all want to go. We don't know want for kind of like the or I don't know certain people like elect for make them beginning to call like JC na salon. We be still a name where it's na salon, but we are good and call me JC. Because you see, Khadija, we all want to go salon. Certain tenant the way like since I'm actually student like since I'm working dinner my farm they I get people and me pickaxe they do work then at my farm. I can think and say this pickaxe who we are also now with my country. I can able do all the pickaxe na salon and get a very positive impact in the country that I can help with man where they already get like established system there.
Yeah.
You know, we all the dream for go salon, but you know, salon everything don't be so politicized that you afraid say, oh, this political party, but they criticize them, they will come after me. Everything. You know, let we begin to think, but we can't get salon. Let we stop this tribalism. You know, like one thing where I can always say, why is the tribalism always the play when it comes to politics? Everything else, we are fine. The moment when it comes to politics, that's the time tribalism kick in. For me, you know, it can pain me. And let me, like, you know, like I see people in the big comments say, oh, when they don't kick your party out of power, now you just criticize the government every time. It's not me criticizing. You know, like, everything where I talk, I get proof, I get evidence. Like, I don't just listen, don't know what they make story them up. Now, I make, like, I can always tell people and say, the thing where they comment on that thing them with, and use them with them in the public domain. I use them for interpret the good and the bad. Unfortunate people, they always they feel say like I always they pick on the bad. But sometimes they can say when you pick on the bad, it kind of like make the people like kind of like change and for in a very positive way. But like salon, when you criticize, they just feel say, you know, like they go against the government. But Khadija, we all have one salon, and I believe say we get a very big way for go na salon. Let we kind of like fix the country, fix the basic thing then. Like look what's in again Apple Khadija. few weeks ago we see like a Dutch doctor, where I don't know if that doctor, like medical somebody, where go catch Lassa fever, that's alone. Apparently, like I think it died with a visa camp the Netherlands. It died. Khadija, do you know the negative effect when the one that gets Lassa alone? It is so bad. So let me tell people, they say, when we look after we system, they talk about tourism, they talk about, like, first of all, even the rebel war, like, let me look at the positive side, first of all, now we country. With the rebel war, we able to build a museum for make, like, with money they go and go check what actually happened with this rebel war. And forget about the rebel war. Let me think about now the rebel war don't pass. Let me begin to think about the positives. We get the slave trade. I remember like where I be go Edwards. I see like you get them King Tom who said that they them be go sell the slave them. If we build something where with man go always be curious. In fact, like even recently, like one video be there around where not even video now, BBC News. They even talk about salon, but who side them be go sell and buy slave them. They begin at BBC News. Do you know how many tourists go salon for go just check their kind of thing in the but we can't see?
Yes.
We can able to turn the rebel war to a positive. We can able to turn with Ebola to positive.
Yeah.
But what do we do? We not for encourage again for make other health challenges them they come we way for stop people from going there for go find out what it actually happened but we can't see. People that we sit down, they allow for make learn Lassa fever, like basic sickness them. They allow for make people, they deter people them from going we can't see. But when they talk about say we want boom tourism, how is that going to possible? Yes. How?
Talking about the Lassa fever, the last show again where I've been trying for enlighten the general public of what they go on, and also try for come up with brief background of how this thing been come about na Nigeria and what are the signs and symptoms. And I be also say like we urge we government for net and go pull out a press release because these are things that are significant. For an example, when you compare that with the Ebola, if we know how we know better then or how to manage a disease, maybe some time, but that was the very first time and it wouldn't say. But now this Lassa fever from what's in it say now something where they happen every year and it kill up to 5,000 people them. So how we able for save life? And this is not something where the Ministry of Health and we now something where for they talk about, because not all man go they watch the critical thinking talk show. Sometimes that in our village not go able to get that, you understand? Even though we'll try for share ideas, but then within in our turn, therefore make them or even make them people then visit the provinces them, educate people them, But I not see anything of that from the government where they say, okay, no, don't pull this press listen at this we don't hear this doctor don't die, we're not going to hide that from me now, but then I go and then the president come out, or whatever they did at that ministry, they come out and educate the public then. Because at the end of the day, it's not about NGC, APC, SLPP, but it's about us as Sierra Leonean. Before it affect one, it affect all.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, sir. If you want to finish your thoughts.
So as I say, it is all about let we just think salon, Khadija, and man will just take your time. And I believe say we get very long way for go. Absolutely. And salon became a paradise. Let we just work together and let we forget about say when I criticize SLBB, it means like it's because like they've kicked my party. How do you know whose party we are there anyway?
Yeah.
And even the last APC government, like almost 10 people and they will be the cost me because of APC. I criticize them.
Yeah.
It's all about being like a patriot. Being a patriot.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean like if even I belong to a party, you just get to be objective.
Yes.
By the way, Khadija, let me
so one more before you go, one more question, sir. Mr. Alaji Amara Kebe, I think we should be optimistic. The government has put in some good policies, like the airline tax reduction. People should stop being negative. Okay, so before even you come in, Mr. Kebe, goal here is to never be negative, but rather call things as we see them, where there's positive, we go commend. Where there's negative or where there's some weakness, I go one column weakness, not negative, we go use with voice for do constructive criticism in the hope for help with government them for improve in that area. So that in a one. So now it talk about the tax reduction having to do with airline. But again, some Sierra Leoneans, some set of Sierra Leoneans then will also be concerned, say, like even people then like a way they do them NGO work them, right? Some people then around the world, Sierra Leoneans, they were concerned with care. They go and send container, they go and do this, so on and so forth. If like from the then governance been able for make wave for them people there, so you understand, and them NGO them and this and that, because one not to forgo benefits themselves, but rather for them the poor people then benefit. So if Mr. Kebe they give credit for reduction in tax with having to do with the airline, we give kudos to the administration, but at the same time, waiting, like I can always say, how we go prioritize waiting more important versus waiting least important. The example of the NGO where they go help for feed them people, then clothe them or whatever they want, they were not able to afford. How you go compare those two? So I want you come in before you call it quits.
You see, Khadija, you see, it's I make I feel say are they happy, and I hope say other people will come on board with and get like similar background to me for make we begin to sensitize with people in our country. You see, when you look at the tax system way Mr. Kebe talk about, I want to make people understand one thing. It was GST, way like in the UK. I think in America they call them GST as well, but in the UK they call it like VAT. Basically, like they just kind of like reduce the VAT on like certain. I don't forget the exact name there with it. Yeah, but it's airline related. You see, Khadija, we can even kind of like, but I want to make Mr. Kebe say the VAT is completely different from like actual like taxes, because this VAT what they talk about, like when you sell a ticket, if you know, like when you reduce the VAT when the person they pay, basically like yes, you kind of like they take the burden away slightly from like the airline. But what you they fail for realize that the fact that VAT not in way kind of like a reclaimable. So basically like when you spend like you think that when you spend and pay VAT on, you reclaim from waiting you they pay VAT. Like it's a bit technical, but anyway, I don't want to go that side. But I want kind of like make Mr. Kebe understand one thing back as well. Just last week or 2 weeks ago, the government kind of like increased the electricity tariff by 93% on household debt. You know how we work, Khadija? If I remember, I don't get the waiting system before me. Like before, they used for pay about like when you use like between 0 to 50 kilowatts, you pay about 530 leons. 530 leons, I think so, if I remember. And then like when you kind of like use now, what did the government don't do? They don't reduce that trendy. So wait, now before, if you use 0 to 50 watts, you pay like 530. Now 0 to 25 kilowatts, now you pay 530. After 25 kilowatts, you pay about 1,000 something. So which is like for consumer, the way people like they say we don't know why they go dry. They go dry because of them thing there. Because the consumer, the basic person now, the household them, now they don't increase their tariff, their extra tariff by 93%. And then the industry and the companies them, they don't increase them by I think about 14%. Now you tell me, Khadija, now you don't tell we state corporation tax, you don't reduce them by 5% in the budget. They tell we say they don't reduce them by 5%, but you don't get increase the extra charges, the electricity charges them by 14%. So you see how the government they be clever now, yeah? You they give with your left hand, you take with your right hand. This now waiting exactly the corner we country. You don't reduce VAT by almost 5% or whatever. Now Now you don't increase electricity charge by 14%. This is just like a mere deceit where they go on now we country where like people like Mr. Kebe, they see, they need to understand. You see, because like when you electricity was not the basic thing that we investors they always they look for. Fair enough, I understand the VAT implication we get, but even with the VAT implication, it gets like this thing back where like gets like a serious effect when it comes to like it didn't increase like company the profit. I should say, because VAT not a part of the way you asset as profit. However, it increases the cash flow, which is like a long-term thing, and even the cash flow impact what it gets. Not to say like it gets up because like it gets a direct impact because you kind of like the VAT the way you pay for where you buy something in a salon, and then the VAT where you sell to person where so you the net amount. So in a way, people like the layman that it. Then they say like it's a good thing. But when you dig inside, gets like no impact. But people like Mr. Kebe, and I understand. Because not all man sometimes understand, sometimes waiting like we fortunate for the scene behind the scene.
Thank you so much. Well stated, sir. Much appreciated. I shall say the layman self go understand your point. Mr. Denke, when they say they tell you thank you for that way you make you understand the difference between depreciation and appreciation.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
It's a pleasure.
So now I'll order you up. You get for go serve the Lord tomorrow. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you always.
Yeah.
So if you answer your last word now, I'll let you before we continue.
Yeah, thank you and thanks Mr. Kebe and for the no criticism for the check we check me and thank you Mr. Denke. I mean like it's all about one salon we all live it for whether maybe sometimes which they say you didn't misunderstand them or sometimes I might get it wrong as well. I mean, but let we all just work for one salon and just say thank you listeners and hope for joining us at some point again in the future.
With that said, tell you plenty thank you. The next time we'll meet, God willing, we go there face to face to see ourselves with the world. Thank you, sir. God bless you. God bless you, sir. Have a good night.
Thank you, Khadija.
You're welcome. All right, fellow Sierra Leonean and viewers beyond the Sierra Leone community, and thank you. Then I'll be with financial risk analyst Mr. Alfred Sanko of the United Kingdom. They take the opportunity again for telling plenty thank you. As always, in making self available for now we discuss issue of relevant having to do with we beloved Mama Salon. With that said, we continue for Ina we just come and I thank you. What we don't talk so far is that one, I start off with an open statement first on the community announcement. We send out sympathy to Honorable Asan Sise, we being get attacked and by an unknown vehicle where many they look and say that a deliberate act and in a way of almost where he almost lost in life. From there, I been start with the pros of we first lady. We a commander in areas them where I look and say that is strength, and then also I be also learn to some of the weaknesses them or the concerns them with some Sierra Leoneans then get. Which one of it we have been elaborate on now the way we inauguration was handled. Where I also give example or suggestion as to within many Sierra Leone, if not all, but many Sierra Leoneans they wouldn't think say it could have been done differently. And I also give the example of the reason why many are assigned or given this prestige position, which one of them not in responsibility for letting go about for organize with inauguration, but not the responsibility of a first lady. But I also say that it was nothing wrong for it to be part of the planning process, but the point of jumping or going over in limitation was where the concern was for many Sierra Leonean, and also the promise where it make to Sierra Leoneans that Sierra Leonean artists will be the center of attention. Unfortunately, that was not the case at the end of the day, wherein that we Nigerian brothers and sisters them being overshadowed, we Sierra Leone artists them. And I also talk about the importance of how we go value we artists them for now we self go then at the map, because we have talented men and women as artists or as celebrity, but because we not put the value tag on them, we try for bring other people them as being superior over them. Of course, they're not gonna look we waiting self. The other one way I've been wanting to we address in terms of the first lady is that the advice I will give is that not everybody will go say yes ma, yes sir, will be in the best of your interest. You must be aware of the leho then will say the labele or labele people them we go just say everything we they say I call them no, that's not the case. Or we go say, oh, well, you are more active, you know, and more of a vibrant first lady compared to that of the then first lady. I believe say when you become in, you get so many advantage where if we don't take from that then first lady. What I mean by that is that in don't experience the life of a first lady, you don't experience the weakness or the strength of in husband who side and go wrong, who side and not go wrong. Let's just say with man then maybe the ego, your husband, which now with president, not being not being take up on himself, say, okay, when I take up from this me big brother or me daddy, now able for get advice from or not able for learn from so that way when I the role or when I the lead, it go easier for me because you don't know the know-how, it don't already know who I go call, whether na China, na I call na Australia for that and go help we or whatever the case may be. Let's say where you don't be the first lady, you don't be the mommy of the country. So usa even you feel say you man gets a weakness, now you go able for help man for go accomplishing goal. So now there was a lot of talking about, oh, you're not the best, not the vibrant. It should never be about competition. Like I can always say, the best person for me for compete with is myself, because I'm not perfect. I look at my weakness and try for take that opportunity for make my strength in the near future, whatever weakness that may be. I critique myself, and I ask others with they within me, I would say me territory, we're not friends or good people they want to say get me best interest, whatever advice I need to take them for granted and learn from that. The reason why I say that, a lot of people will say this woman and not being to do much, you just sit on no more. Well, you will get different personality. Maybe you are the type, you're the go-getter, you're upfront, you know, there's a lot of people back when I go-getter, but at the same time then they be that from in the background where necessarily sometimes you're not going to see them out all the time, but no means say they're not to do something productive. And when they get called in, excuse me, before I land to me statement. Critical Thinking Talk Show, kindly identify yourself, please.
Yes, Khadija, good evening and good morning and good afternoon in whatever part of the world you get me. This is Mr. Sise.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Welcome, Mr. Sise. Who side you call from? For the one they want to know you.
Yeah, they call from Canada.
Okay, welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yes,
get
3 points where I want to talk on the program. Very, very much educative and very much interesting. First of all, I want to tell you thank you for the caliber of people that we bring come on board the show for educating and at least bring awareness to the country. The 3 points, them not just give them a bulletin and then talk on them. One, NGO, where then they pay tax for like goods and services, where then they go give us some loan. And I want to talk on. And number 2, I want to talk on also the financial experts in analysis we give this now on the current money business na salon. And finally, I will talk on the overall development where they go take place in a salon, as that's my specialty and that the study. Let's start first of all with the tax we NGOs then they pay, we they make, they let the Bokupa we SSF we they out here, they raise things them, but we remember so you have to pay tax, you have for like a get Boku expenses we they go get na wataki, and they make you discouraged for like a raise things them for go do for go give donation back in a salon. One for believe see everything is not well for everybody in a salon. There are many more people who really need help. So like Boku Sierra Leoneans, then they out here now overseas, we get the opportunity here for his use clothing, medical things, you name them. But the fear is when you don't raise them in there, you send them. Some people wouldn't do they will give you the physical things them. So for example, they give you medical items, they give you used clothing, they give you name them computers, all this other stuff for sure say you can't get they go back and you can't see. But when you not get the financial money, the finance for like a good support for Poland in the Nawataki, automatically then donors then they or then things they do they don't give to you. Don't perish na that water kidding. At the end of the day, we want to give back reports to the people and they not visible because you know able to achieve the goal. So for me as a development expert, I think the government will look into this, we are able for like get stars organizations then way they're credible because maybe they will see people and use them for personal gain and but if you get officials the way they're able to monitor then the items they do. For example, if you send container we you see now for support or now for NGO giving to poor people, when they get staff they would able to go see say then things they do you can go, you know, do otherwise with them, but for ensure say the people they benefit out of it. Other than the levy tax, at the end of the day, people then they discourage for go support back in a salon. Yes. Like I say, I one big example, I know like a claim say I they do all the good, but why I don't come the short term I don't raise things then. But I remember when you say that this no for go clear and our taki, some people don't give you money. But we explain, we give you story and give things the way they happen, people willingly they give out things then for which you can go. But the taxes are too much now the ones I give for people for the clear things they meander. So for me, I think one thing that the way the government will look at, you know, I agree they put them, they don't take off duty waivers, but let them think and back again, say all is not well with everybody in Sierra Leone. The poor people are more than the rich people, and because of that, Sierra Leoneans they need help. That's not the one point where they handle. Number two, I talk about this financial experts in value in analysis we do. I appreciate them. Of course, we not a financial specialist, but I learn from them. May God continue for bless and Musa day. But me fear because we get to call SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Me fear people will see and say yes, it is very good. The use door and be appreciated to some extent. But let's assume after this December pass, the dollars the more don't say, oh, the send as alone reduce a cut off. What did they happen again? The dollar is skyrockets again, and then the euros they depreciate in value. So at the end of the day, we will. I know the period that happen, it will go back to inflation at the country because the dollars, then when they go in, don't reduce drastically. So like when the analysts will they say, go let the government look at strategies them, when they ensure say at least we put the mechanism there in place, believe you me, enable for uphold the dollar, and at the end of the day, the euros will continue to appreciate other than the depreciating value. Finally, with the overall take in terms of the government development, first of all, I want to commend the government. They don't try, but as far as we experts are concerned, I know the fear can challenge anybody we want to come up with them. 95% of government projects are not sustainable. I give you vivid example of what you are see. Now look at the free quality education, which I appreciate so much when the government come with them. But how is this free and quality education be sustainable? Who side the money they come out every day for every month for ensure say them picking up this thing continue, say all the other governments we come able for make up. right? In one day. So most government projects, they are just there for political gains and not for the people making it sustainable. So for me, our own serious thoughts with this sustainable aspect in terms of this development where they don't bring when at equality, free quality education. When we look at the things that they happen in the universities, the school, and all this rest. Yes, we agree say parents do not pay fees, but like I tell you, the way we teachers that they demand for money and pamphlets, now the university, this, that, eventually they pay the school fee. And let them cut them and pamphlet them things they did. When you study now, before you don't get this stuff for course, before you make, they don't send all which you study, all which you for read that course, they don't send and give you. They tell you say that the textbook, and then when I go to the library, you ensure so you get the materials them. But it's not happening. The other take one forget on this equality education, the quality aspect. For me as development expert, let's get the quality then with this where the quality go do. You get that value for make them free. But you say free when we don't get massive increase in the enrollments in school, when we get limited classroom, less teachers, more school picking them. So like in a one grade class, you see 70, 80, 90 picking. It is very good, but now one teacher they teach them the entire class day. Tell me how special this teacher be pass knowledge to all them picking and they pay attention to them. It's not a work so, not to quality that one day. Now compare the private school them and the government school. Now see the results when they come out today. When you want to get quality, look at the private school. Where is floating with the talk about quality. But the government for not look at the quality, they upgrade the qualities, the terms of teaching, even the teachers' education colleges the way they get. They therefore look at the curriculum, the way they teach the beginning. Yeah, because if you come out, for example, you come out salon with paper, sometimes you have to come and defend the paper and then I back. That's the reason we not get quality because for the compare the quality within an SIR to we use, then we can for match these things together. Then we can see say, well, this is either we make them free or let people still they pay for them. Yeah, so that's another thing when me think say the government will look at. I'm not against free quality education, but I get many issues with because the sustainability aspect, now one way really difficult to see, and number two, the quality aspect is far for achieve. But the problem again, Kadisha, when people get in a salon, the moment you say the facts, they begin to tell you as politics. Oh, this is a political person. This party come out. But I can always tell people whether they party A, party B, party C, development not get party, development is for everybody. When development then as you need to say party A or party B, I don't want to enjoy them. Now for everybody. So it is better we put Sierra Leone first. We put development as one of the major agenda. Then I think we'll be able to reach the goal where we only expect the country for open. Finally, the government really they do well, but I still get issue with the ministers them. Yeah, let we see today almost ministers get developmental plans them. Then they show me today almost minister will go meet the president say, His Excellency now ABCD now I'm a plan and a ministry and this will for work towards this particular aspect of the development. But when you look at all the ministers, them always they talk about today now the NGO, now the social media, now free quality education. What about the other areas? Are they not important for development of the country? Yeah, so they have a lot to do, and we successfully out there get a lot for do. We the big Sierra Leoneans them, then we not turn we back to our salon, then we go back, then we support, then we even forgive we own technical ideas them, then we even forgive financial support and every other support we will see Sierra Leone go before. I want to stop here for now.
Wonderful, Mr. Sise. Thank you so much for your time and your contribution. We appreciate you. God bless you, sir. Thank you again. If you think of anything, feel free for call back, yeah?
All right.
Thank you, sir. All right. Danina Mr. Sise from Canada. When Seth B1 contributes to the topic on hand. it seemed like we don't deviate a little bit from we intended topic, but I guess everything works simultaneously. Yes, my namesake Miss Khadija, welcome, and everybody else who I don't recognize, and forgive me. Now, like I've been to say, I've been to talk about some of the weaknesses them or the things them way maybe go affect we first lady. Like I say, when it come to the one way been day with then first lady and you, there's a lot of ways sometimes you forbid on get from maybe from sit down one-on-one conversation where it be say it will make it easy for you where you say find yourself in the position. And many people then they look and say there are a lot of things then where they happen where put voice as we they now the social media we can try for listen, be a good listener, even though sometimes they want to comment where the audios them where they say that there's alleged that you bought car for in the case of somebody like Arata where they use for do a lot of mayhem in the country. And a lot of cases that we don't happen. Example, we all commend you for this you step for say hands off our girls, but there's a lot of other concerns too in many areas. And we I believe say many they look and say enough will be just subjected to just only hands of our girls, but also include with women in this. And also we also for further take them to another level wherein for the woman that we don't get violated in terms of like physically. We get the case of the situation having to do with the recent few months ago the journalist that were they attack with stadium another female where I go play the audio to the video or the audio for the people then go hear it because I like anything what they say they go be authentic. Believe say you as the mommy of the country, you voice them for be don't be heard by then cases there. In the case of Satan Amin, when he alleged multiple man them rape this go on social media so many different occasion, but nothing where it be say you turn up and say okay make a stand and speak on these things because these are things that are very very significant things that will happen where the world they look and say for yourself your voice if you take up on yourself in certain areas then you step up. These are things that we also for them step up and make statement. In the case of China Nikki, we already said there was something to do with politics we make be ever get in car with them be promise and all that they as a feminist I believe say oh woman where they fight for the woman them and you don't be in a position where you stand as a figure in that country with the support you trying to support you man in goal for they achieve something we go left a lifetime legacy. I believe say all these things the way at the least you also for don't use your voice as you do use your voice in other areas them. So with that said, an example where many could been say like I say when you come it should have never been a competition or then one day where they go and make statements for make it be like a for saying a competition with the then first lady and you know when it comes to violence I can keenly remember and I also have the audio prior to the election where the first lady they remind Sierra Leoneans and say we all now one so on and so forth. So again at the pause here make a plan for the Nagoyeri. Okay, sorry, I did try for I will see if it load, it try for load. I don't know if it go work. If it not work, then I will try for get time on another show. I promise you guys that much. Okay, so it not seem like it load. All right. And let me see if I can play another one for you.
Okay, go. Nina aspirant for NGC Nigel as a councillor. I be done the throughout the people of the town, then they don't hate me because of the hard work they do everything. Some people then they don't get me in mind. Some when they say that when I do a party, I say no they do at the NGC. So after them if you go to exercise, they then say that when I say people, I say no, I say at the NGC. I say I know they declare for no party yet. I say until I heard from the leader. So yesterday me who picking go now exercise, then begin go tell her, say that mama they wait for any picking can tell me. One go now I said don't know they talk now. I said they go sabi me. Then they came in and go to the section chief say they say me don't cost. Section chief not be there can they came. This morning he go he sent on me. But he meets me already for go wash. As I won't go wash, as I can. As I won't go wash, they don't wait for me. Now see the group. Now see group of people that they got woman there, man there, from the whole stick, the whole this, the whole all kinds of things. But me not be no saying for me that they come. Now they come and me go what? From the begin saying belief, then throw me, the man not be there around. The begin can say not be there. But the guy who play the girl too. Then what we know that bitch with and not to be stick. Right now look the head is damaged. The head damaged. I the feel pain on the head. Me back, the house, then walk me sick. Then teach me good one. Tell me man go come they don't beat me. This and I on a station, go report to the NEC. Like NEC, check the land road out, police there. Then come, they say they burn the house. One more body, they get petrol I have now. He said they burn the house. No, I don't sabi the boy in me. But I sabi yes, I kill na them all day. The woman they come and throw me in numbers. Then they boku they pass 100. Then throw me they hit me another day. So then they walk me in, then they walk me with sick. So now I have police. Police they come, they don't come see them, they don't snap the house, they don't do anything, they don't carry me go back to the station. I don't go give reports. He don't. Oh. I don't want to reports. Right now, for that, so I feel pain on the back. And they really see this behavior, the water was sick, now they damage show. Yeah. So, Mr. Duncan office to Mr. Banya, for me I can't tell. Oh, the police, they don't give me medical. Now go. Now go take medical. I pay now the police, so very strong, the money I need.
This is one of the aspirants who be for contest under our constituency 014 when no Abamara be contest as councillor for NGC. All of a sudden, this was not to SFPP this morning, they move in great number, they go now host, they say they don't want to follow a join in SFPP, we not agree. So today they come for pay and death because of they not agree for join NGC. All of a sudden, they beat down, they damage some parts of host. People that come in great number, able rescue self pass, they call na Tongo, the police they can't rescue, they don't get medical. Now they don't come back na Kenemara, they call we will go before her, we turn out, we don't count her. A day we train at the district office now, but we don't try to get onto the district chairman, we're not able to get her in. Now a day we train now office here, a masterly damage, he hit the wound down, inside the outside the knock and we stick. For even now for long for talking not able. A day with you now. So these are the grant for the notice of the National Secretariat. I get this video for like I sent to now no say now so the situation they find themselves inside Kenema district as for now. With security, they in any good hand. Except now the secretariat they will not get for intervene for we the members of the NGC. All of a sudden the threat they come out now, they say even the 27 they're ready for damagery, they're ready for damage any NGC member because we not be vote for them, we vote for SFPP. So this line are the threats now we go on. So we appeal to one of the National Secretariat for law and able step in, and this woman
right. As you're saying, I don't listen to Dande. I play for now we recollect on some of the post-election violence where as early as recently again we still they get the same issue having to do with Honorable KKY. So the reason why I played Danina one of the woman them where in self been they cry for help, where been they represent the NGC political party. So the point where I make again to the first lady for Ina would just come in. There's so many things that will happen to woman them where you happen to be the face of the woman then at the Republic of Sierra Leone where will not be hearing your voice. So like I always they say anything a learning process, hopefully would get improvement in them areas. Now, make we talk about the behavior, the expectation where many Sierra Leoneans then go, they expect of you as the first lady. We all not therefore be perfect or whatever the case may be, but like when God don't put you in that position there, one thing again, I was commend you. You seems to be somebody where they can say they were body or whatever the case may be. But now you don't be in a position where not only you they represent your husband, but also you they represent a nation. Everything you do, how you do it, what you say, whenever you say it, you already be done aware of waiting you to get yourself into. So there's also an expectation we come with that. We unfortunately you don't accept them in advance. So now unfortunately it's like Sierra Leonean go hold you accountable and then go once then you live up to those expectations. Meaning example, what you say, how you say it, when you say it, where you say it, you will be criticized or they will give you constructive criticism and not necessarily mean say it's a pulling down syndrome or they mean bad, but rather not just a guidelines for say, okay, you do not only represent just you and your husband anymore, but you represent us as a nation. An example, you recent visit sorry, a recent meeting we've been get a lot of diplomatic them around the different wives them and the of course different diplomatic them around the world when a significant meeting them where you attend. Like I said, the side women like of you, yes, you seems to be humble, and that's where you are your body or whatever the case may be. But the position where you hold, and excuse me, yeah, the position where you hold certain things them is of limit for you. When you attend those type them meeting and diplomatic meeting, you now don't become the position where you hold is that you're not the wife of the president. You get a cameraman when I do the work for you. If you want to do anything live, that cameraman they na go do them. So many Sierra Leoneans they frown upon that, say we own first lady, we no other first lady not do it go live. You might see and say, yeah, na nice, I want to share the moment. Yes, not a bad thing, but now maybe me go do the thing and I go share the moments if I go and I go share the moments because I do not happen to be the first lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone. You understand? But if you not see you other company them, maybe something themselves will go with their husband, they don't do such. Maybe again something you go do and back again in the future, maybe it not matter to you. But this again, like I say, I just guidance. It could either take or not take. So, but really, for the position we hold, and not look appropriate for you go live, but then kind meeting the day. Again, anybody welcome for challenge me. You can call and you can give you reason as to why you think say the first lady okay for behaving that type of manner. So that is one. Another one. During the pre-day of 2018, authentic photo will show you where you did directly in the midst of the Manjama. You understand? Where I look and say now a huge mistake given the obvious of the we rules and regulation of we Islamic what is if we not we set time now last set time for we wherein that we man then always the lead win prayers no matter whose kind of position where we hold. It is what it is. And we always remember say this dunya and temporal. Not enough for big na we eye, no matter whose position where we hold, whose side because not only by the mercy of Allah, now in the make with the it choose some of we over whatever the case may be. But the rules we in don't set forth say we husband and now or we brothers then now or we daddy then now they for lead we in prayers where we for they in the back. I believe say that in a mistake. If even the prayer be done so say not been doing while the prayer they go on. But even after the prayer, I believe say na mistake still for go to the Jama also your husband the day with the how you call them the imam them or whatever the case may be. Again in a welcome for challenge me if in a face say he writes for then we first lady been do that. Another statement where being drive Sierra Leoneans, some set of Sierra Leoneans them crazy was when you specifically make and clear na radio democracy say the ground dry. Many they look and say that in an unfortunate statement. And also some look and say now like a mockery of the one that we truly fall under that category they when at the ground dry. It is obvious that like how Islam say, you never look at the way pass you, but rather, how you call the way you pass, it will make you appreciate life better. So as a first lady, for make such statement, it will be like how some Sierra Leonean look it will be received as a mockery because people then the way they in a very worse situation with some 10 after God, maybe something that in mama go na Congo market, go sell, or then say go sell, for then get some daily bread, or then get for go na farm, where now God don't try you, where it put you in a position where the Republic of Sierra Leone, they make possible for you each day for the one, lack your basic needs and you get her in abundance compared to that of other Sierra Leoneans. So again, then many people they look and say it was rather unfortunate. Now make we go to the holy month of Ramadan. Your decision for go publicly for swear people them being obviously annoyed with where you been obviously annoyed with was another unfortunate incident where many Sierra Leoneans they look at. Just like I say, God don't put you now in a position wherein you don't be the mama, you don't be the face of Sierra Leone. You understand? And sometimes even I can always say when you're too happy, you're too upset, you're too angry, or whatever the case may be, it's the wrong time for make a decision. And you know how important the holy month of Ramadan day for we as Muslim, very significant moment where they can say that time Allah they lock all the how you call it, they lock up Satan. So obviously we're not going to say that Satan make that happen. So during the month of Ramadan, I think it's gonna be very, very unfortunate situation. I can understand as a woman, maybe they go through a lot of pain of but you look and say that way they for vent and we're all human. Whatever it is, we'll look and say a mistake. We learn from the mistakes, but moving forward, just be very slow for react or to make public speech where go come back and backfire by you and also that of your husband, because now like I say, you happen to be the face of him or for yourself and for the nation as a whole. Another one is that your most recent visit to United Kingdom. Again, like I say, seeing you interacting with other Sierra Leoneans who are to be commended. It shows that you are able to connect with all walks of life, regardless of the position where you find yourself. as a first lady. That again, I salute you. On the other hand, you make a comment where, of course, na fact in regards to some way hold PhD, but as a first lady, like I say, some of them things they are so when a fact or reality, you for reframe or shy away from altering such statement. The reason being is obvious. And many allege say or aware say, how you call you and the chief minister again allege not to see eye to eye. So when you make that statement, many will conclude that whether it's the fact or not, whether you're referring to him directly or indirectly. So that is why you should be very slow for make such comments we will bring negative attention to you or to your husband in administration. Now we'll go back again. I'll elaborate a little bit further again about this Hands Off Our Girl initiative. Again, like I say, it's one to be commended. Kudos to you. We all strongly know the importance of protecting Whippy Kingdom. But again, many back again, they look and say, with financial risk analysts on left, for many they look and say back again, is it a form of exploitation? What you don't achieve with this Hands Off Our Girls? What you don't put in place? Because if I can clearly remember, so a show I've been making is that let's say for them victims they are so God forbid, then one day we don't go through them. Do you have any plan in the future wherein you go get like if not a center where you the bill, where it be said then will get you try to hire people them where then expertise, as in example of a counselor where they go a psychiatrist, somebody where they go talk, they explain the trouble with what they go through, where because the people that were now victim of such circumstance, I can always say, not only focus on the physical aspect, but the mental and the psychological effect of going through such trauma. You understand? It needs more attention. It needs a more in-depth, how you call them, help, wherein they go sit down, they go get counseling, and also what are the activities then where you go put in place? We go get the mind of them in there. So how the states go compensate them if they're a minor, maybe something a lot money where they go put for them a bank, where it be say where they reach that age of adult, then go for do something for themselves, for their education or business or whatever the case may be. For no money, we go encourage them. So many Sierra Leoneans they wonder, waiting at the accomplishment where you don't do in terms of this Hands Off Our Girls. And again, I can clearly remember, I think I get that video there where one other gentleman also can say, even they say back again, not only Hands Off Our Girls, so hands off our boys as well. Because there's also, no, we not just be sexism wherein only girl picking them more than they go through than there's some boys too where they can say some big people them, they can tap out with them boys then they as well. So I want to know you kindly now you think of ways them where you go able for make this Hands Off Our Girls be successful, and also how I believe say back again, if you get the youth then involved, wherein some of them might be suffering from in silence, how you go able for how you call get different maybe you get say a day a stadium or wherever you get them involved, you get their opinion, because it's collective things them go it will be beneficial than only way one person they think, you know, especially where the goal now for them. Yeah. Another thing is that many people them look and say okay, the other before I get into that, this Hands Off Our Girls, not only the sexual part of it, this so I get an audio where a young girl where also whether not in caretaker or in parent or whoever, then beat her to the point where she's messed up for life. So how you they also go about for investigating case there, so reach out to them, and waiting else you did also do for help them for not able for go past that trauma they with them face. Now play this for you now.
What's he happy? What I beat you? Eh? Wow, what you do? What beat you? You broke rubber. Why is it for broke rubber? Sit down straight, sit down straight. Sit down straight. Who's carrying rubber? Rubber Kitu? You broke her? So now he beat you? Beat you how many? How many lashes did you?
3.
No, how many? Like waiting. Almost 10 in that you. He beat you. Boku? So what's going to happen to you now? Where you there? Wap you with matapensi for this you put. Now a broker. Now you also foot broke or this foot broke. Put your waist bone for that rubber kit too, or now some other thing you be ready to do. You ever grabbed it up? How long that this happened to you? Don't say. Who's passing a free town on Bende? Kissima kiss. Na in born you. What did you do? Mommy from Usai. Now you born? Who's are you born? Who's village you born? You know whose tribe? Mende? You Mende in a free town? You know get home? So you mean that you put today all broke? Hey, you know you grabbed it up? So how you manage you reach here now? Where you know about it? Now can they count you? What I count you? Your uncle? What can do it now? Can't reach you from where you work? You know you work as a small sir? So where the woman where do you this? Is it in the hospital, yeah? You sure say another rubber number where you sleep or you kick her, you broke her, now you make it broke your foot. You know thief? So if you know work now, how you go feel? Now you feel fine? You better go school? What school? Pastor Buck? Whose class you there? Class 3? Okay. So you say if you know work now, you know they feel fine. Why you not go feel fine? Now you want to know the worker? Confident they want to know the worker, not so? So if government asks you now if what thing you go on for me and do that woman day, what you go say? Made them not do anything. What you do? What you do? Made them not care and go to court. Made the law deal with them. Why? Give me one reason why make you know I made a deal with them. You know be the only bad? But you just decide for broke your foot no more? For rubber? So where you not going for what? You say you was born all them broke? You go attempt for grab, Mosi. Grab a hold that chair. Or two chair, may you make like say the grab it enough. So now so no one you go there. Tina may you make manage you let me say. You know able? How long this happened to you now? It past 1 month? So the woman in we broke you foot in the waka. So you go left for the sea in the waka, you sit down. But you say my government not deal with her. Now they go for report this matter and the police. If I'm put in day, mama day, they don't report the matter to the police. So if they carry you go to the police, you go say make they not deal with that woman day. Huh? Who's right you get away for saying they don't deal with they don't commit government case. Huh? Sit down.
All right, as in Ayeri, I've been play some of the significant things them where one of it this now as the first lady they say hands of our girls. This now one of the picking them way is say now one auntie way they with I think it broke a rubber bowl or something buckets or so, and it beat to the point where unfortunately as the word where the man used, a broken wishbone and not able for work again. So these are all significant things then we also they expect for now we first lady elaborate on and make them clear to Sierra Leoneans then say a very much they in touch and connected with them picking their so the other one when a recent one back again where he visit I don't know if not Kenem again or so wherein there was another alleged case of rape. 1 second before we get to that I be want also play something for in okay, this is not the one where I be talk to where I don't think I'm having to do with the then first lady where even they plead to Sierra Leoneans them.
Me na the first lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Sianyama KOROMA. I dey join hand with Mastermind Consortium and Citizens Advocacy Network for send out this message to all Sierra Leoneans. We need for be very peaceful and we no need for involved in any violence or any action we go disturb the peace. We need for respect each other's opinion. We all belong to different political parties. That no means say we for involved by war or fet. This election very crucial to Sierra Leoneans, in particular the young people. Let we do things peacefully. Let we for elect to leaders them, na council, parliament, and the presidency. We all na Sierra Leoneans. We na one family. Let we all put Salone first.
So, as I mean, they say there's several or multiple or countless violence we don't take place from post-election to now, and the continued violence where we also they expect you as a first lady for now you raise your voice against them violence and the weather na for with the woman them. I give the example of the journalist them na how you call it now with stadium and the cases of Sata Lamin and so many other cases them. And another example, the concern during the Bintumani 3 where the how you call the then president Madam Basita Michael where it talk about certain significant things them where they affect we country all than they now we want your voice. And the example, the thing what they talk about say no, we not only focus on the even though this might be fun, this man or this video been making like a fun, but no, not only focus on the girl picking them, some of the boy picking them too can suffer at the hands of certain women them where they also then they become victim of rape. And unfortunately, some of them, and if they self they not get healed, they also can get that vicious cycle where they go do and back again to picking them in the near future. And we pray, hope that's not to happen.
Athletic bank, that what they talk. Hands up our cars. Well, if you get to one side, if you say back, both side, hands up our boys. Because they go friendly. If you go there, but if you go to beat, Fatima, if you keep picking a small one, then they go test money, and then they go close up the boys. So if you see you pull it out, talking it, make sure it's safe for the money for go to beat, for go to take all the support. They go say, what are they? Hands up a big money. And then they hands up big money. They're picking the bank. So, Mamu Tassi, Mamu Tong, we say local quality, hands up our boys, hands up our big money, hands up the Purwopre. I salute you, Maravio. In case there's every hands up, who's the police match like it? Really? Tell them what's up.
So like I say, this it make them fun, but again for the big man them, even when the picking them make themselves available to and I say for no better for say okay, not so everything what they make available you go say you go take into consideration. Now, okay, Mr. Alpha C said they say how does this project come about? Where did the research took place before the implementation? That's a good one. Then again, like how they say with the re-echo, I go re-echo again the importance of you using your voice for promoting national cohesion. This was another one again during the election or prior to the election phase where we then First Lady use a ability or empower of being the First Lady for promote national cohesion. Make a play again. Sorry for the background noise, guys.
After 10 years of serious work, but with a left beginner power, brother, we
Okay. So actually that was it too long anyway, but the goal is that it take her upon itself, it go out there, of course, it be they run, if they go towards a political party for say a man don't do 10 years and they exit now, and of course if they promote it for if they actually encourage people then for vote for the then presidential candidate when Dr. Samura. But furthermore, he also like how he talked on the previous audio, he also speak on the importance of national cohesion irrespective of whichever political party anybody belong, but let them remember say Salona for everybody. Again, First Lady, the reason why I make all the important thing there, so if you can recollect, and I will play that as well, there's a lot of alleged allegation within the Sierra Leone People's Party from a strong executive member. We happen to be Alpha Saidu prior to the time where your husband becomes successful, where he's now the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone. There's a lot of allegation, a lot of things them way come in question. So now, if God don't give your husband the opportunity for him to succeed for become the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, I believe say you go do in our own in our own best way possible for peace prevail and for and I will get a successful first term. So if we can recollect back again to some of the things and the allegation that way Alpha Saidu be make. I go play again next Sierra Leoneans, then be the judge. Some of those things, are they, how you call them, are they accurate, or are they on point or not on point? And I go be the judge. I dey pause in for a minute to make find this clip. Okay. Sorry. I will come back to that. Let me see. Okay. So I mean, make mention of how you call Mr. Ibrahim KKY earlier. So I will one play that one day, then I'll come back with Miss Alpha Sidian.
Well,
sorry.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, Ibrahim, December 1st, I just listened to this interview with BBC, with President Marabiodu, launching drones. He launched some drone them for deliver medicine, to certain parts of the country. It's nice to commend people. Like I always say this, commend anybody for everything they're doing. Not like you begin self. You begin make an effort into doing something. Even if you get for criticize, or make sure say you pat on the back force. Because it made an effort. You made an effort, towards achieving something. So that's good. However, now we address the issues. Why would they run for going to drone technology? You see, the problem with this SLP administration and this government is they're putting the cart before the horse at every point in time. Just like how they run for build Lunge Bridge, people in the doubt angry, but you want build bridge for common Lunge for car. People don't get clean water for drink. People they drink feces. The water when they drink salon the water is over 95% of the water get human feces. Dirty water and people they drink. People they sick typhoid, malaria, all kind of thing. Typhoid fever is all over the country. Now Lassa fever don't bust. These are the issues. Instead of this government getting into the basics, the fundamental. Where's the healthcare sector? Look at hospital there and if you go there, you have to go pay the nurse them for let them forget the pen and the paper for let them use for admit you. People are dying unnecessarily. Instead of this guy focusing on building medical facilities, or even now say not get money for build, but rehabilitate the existing ones them, provide adequate finances for letting able to take care of them hospital. Let's allow people and go to hospital and get the adequate treatment when they need. Then people don't die untimely death. Highest maternal mortality rate, but the woman they die when they go born picking. These issues are there, but this president they go talk for drone, for fly medicine go to certain areas. He's not talking about building the roads, them, the network for letting go there. Then community and they talk about letting go build facilities. Then what's in drone technology for nonsense for? They for do right now for people. I think this is all the footwork of that guy. We don't make minister of education. I think that these now online initiatives them and stuff like this for puts to the international community, show the international community a face of wrongdoing, because they just they put a face up there like say they're doing something, but then I don't blame them. I blame people like the Umar Fofanas that are not talking about the violence that are going on in the country, where this president has never said anything about. He's complacent, he's condoning the violence that is going on in the country. They attack parliamentarians now, nothing is coming out of it. Elections that are being held and people are not. Thugs them are being sent all over and they violate the rights of the people, the constitutional rights of the people, the humanitarian rights of the people. He's not saying anything about it. They talk about them. It's like he's oblivious to the fact. It's like he's in a dreamland. They travel all over the country. Nobody really say anything. But at the time again, one of the first snake, not only tail when they go after, they go over after the head. Now the head of the snake you go after, not only tail. So all the when they talk, but could they defend this government? Not only those are distractions. Una focus on the head. When this president wouldn't get where we all don't feel say we want to give them a pass, because like I say, when I respect the office of the presidency, but the individual, this man has proven time and time again that he's not fit for this position. I don't know how with all in past what happened, all the rebel affiliations that he had would cause we country for lose thousands and millions of lives, if not more. It's still back. You can't be president that we had. It's that's a travesty. I don't care. Take it for make sense out of that whole thing. How it happens? Say this might be president. Now they go launch drone. There's nothing wrong with launching the drone. But what are the basics? Why will not they address the bread and butter issues of our people? Kuma Valley, where they so it's over almost here. From Shaka Stevie, when I built Kuma Valley for South, waiting less than maybe 100 or 200,000 people at the capital city. Then I can see they serve millions of people. This guy don't go think of broken grounds for them to expand the valley. Salon is naturally blessed, tropical, weather, climate, and everything. We get enough water for them to supply clean water for people. The people they get water at their house. This guy they address the basic issues for create opportunities for the young people. If the agricultural sector self they go pan, to the import rest of the country. Instead of support farmers them, support local communities them, for them to impact and aim for take care of themselves, then they sustain their own life. It didn't go launch drone. But now if you get medical facilities them for take care of people when they're sick, how people get for go see doctor? Instead of you build facilities them, build roads them for road network for good at their community, and they let every community get a health center, get a doctor or staff, we're gonna take care of the people. Salon too small. Less than 5 million, less than 7 million people. This man for Handover, they go launch drone, everybody they go to BBC and they go gladly. Yes, we will commend the drone because why want take we into man, everything is by strata. You have to take things systematically in a small. You take things kill for seeing God. Lights not in the country, 24-hour electricity not stable. They go launch drone. Then they go in the ask them, how do I go for the charge there? When lights sorry for the charge, they go in battery there. You know, these are all the things we're talking about. So those was just they do things because you want for proof to the international community say you're doing something, and you get this guy where they report them in there. When they report this violence, they're already happy. Attack a parliamentarian right here at the BBC. They go bang and broken food. President don't talk to the people. They don't get why respect for the people of Sierra Leone. You know they give press conferences. You know they address the people. Let the people know exactly what his visions are. Wait, travel. In a drone they go be. But drone they walking by drone now, drone they now less than $100, $200 you buy drone. What sort of nonsense? Now all of them they travel for one and drone. Man, then say they insult me integrity, bro. This guy what they see they hurt me integrity, bro. Because the people of Salon deserve better than this nonsense. They say free education. Look at the educational system. Teachers don't get paid. They travel all over the country. They don't talk to nobody. Then they go launch drone. For glad they say, hey, the president don't launch drone. People don't even sabi what's that technology there. People don't even sabi how to work a computer. They go talk about drone, let alone drone. They go to the community, they go to the school, and you go supply computer to them, and they schools, and they take care of the teacher, they train the teacher there. Some teacher, they say, if you go get a computer, you don't sabi how to open it. You don't know how for picking. You don't sabi how to use Microsoft Word. You come on, they go launch my drone. When I left this message there, man, let me tell you, I say 2023, my folks, it is very important. Let's allow people to come together. Let's allow people come together, especially with the diaspora there. Don't come now take over this country. Don't treat to people right. Let's take over and now support the AGC party. Support a person like Dr. Yukela. We get the know-how and know what it takes for that we go bless with people in life. And for the insults with integrity, so they go and drone. People don't get access to healthcare. People don't get access to clean water. People don't get access to electricity. The basic fundamental things say, you don't want for build Luge Bridge. You don't want for build Luge Bridge. You don't get better for yourself for let people cross. You travel all day. What are the results of this traveling? It's been over a year with this maybe president of our country, man. This is insulting. They come out, they go take drone for say they go left medicine, give people them. It's not even necessary. Go build the medical facility there for the people them. Staff the hospital them all over the country. Let people sick, let they want to go to the community hospital, let they go take care of themselves. Which kind of nonsense drone this guy they go report at BBC. Let him look to the international community, say the man do well. When people are dying of starvation right now. Nonsense. Anyways, Ibrahim, I live it right here. The diaspora don't come together. The only way we can save with people. If we don't come together, then guys they go feel with people and they're blind. Then you rub with people and blind every day. This is what they're doing. You go take drone, go to the country. Me, you can buy drone, you can go to the salon. All man get drone. What's in the drone? For charge yourself, people don't forget light for charge the drone in battery. Not the fun. Today Sunday, never get a quiet time with the family. Anyways, bye-bye.
So then in the voice of we very own, as we don't yell announce, or different platform on social media, Mr. Ibrahim KKY, commonly known as Mr. Ibrahim KKY, a strong member of the NGC political party. Madam First Lady and they play different voices of Sierra Leoneans them for now you know the concerns them where they out there and how you go able for help in your own way with your ability for help for improve these concerns or for see that your husband gets a successful first term. Another thing we want to bring to the table as well, the intention was not bad, but how they can say in the case of baby Mustafa, your call for baby Mustafa was excellent. Now, outside the issue come in there was that many or countless baby Mustafa after that incident and we happen with baby Mustafa, we take up on yourself, you come out publicly, you ask for people then for help financially and rescue or be how you call and contribute to the sustaining baby Mustafa in life. You come publicly and that was great. But like I say, what you make now not fine, like I say, what you need the end, not begin. After this, so many other baby Mustafa, many of them go look and say, you neglect other people picking them or you show favorism to one. In the example, as early as this morning, coincidentally, or this afternoon, another lady where he tagged me in my wall. Some of it I can look and attest to what they say. Where basically we get conjoined twins. And not saying some of it we don't see that show the way I've been we all been the call upon with government officials them letting put hand for help them picking their soul. In the history of Salon, if we don't get time in the past, but this was so the woman don't go all the way out, sign up, they don't get connections same way, then ready for do the surgery for them picking and they save their life. Now this America and New York, they don't do all what they get for do, but it find get challenges them right now in the case now for the government work with them for them picking their so they go come, they don't want to do any press conference or whatever the case may be. So if you don't take that step for baby Mustafa, and in a case where another interview I've been find out about the case na Kenema, where the became is it Kenema or boy? I think na Kenema, where na Sata sheriff, where na a young Pekin where been get abnormal tumor, but as God was good. When I make that interview day, I pull out that audio, it go viral. People then come at him, rescue them, able for do the emergency surgery. 1 week later, would that be a success case? But even when that audio they come out, like I say, you start with baby Mustafa. If you know say for being endam, no start for one. You ignore the balance them because the way how social media is so powerful, there's no way we can send an audio or an interview about such a sheriff or any other picking way you will say no. And with this conjoined twin, it's all over the place as well. So then I just I call them a friendly advice for say no able for prioritize all Sierra Leone and all baby Mustafa them, not only one. So with that said, if I not get any call, I will leave you with this as a reminder of waiting one of the executive member of the SLPP, we very own. Okay, I think I've been miss another call from one of we dedicated member. Make I get back to him now. See what he go and contribute to the topic. And before I left you with a reminder for your husband and this current administration of certain things the way Alpha Side have been saying, how you go able for and I go able for say, okay, we will work towards where Alpha Side in statements not go be true or so far waiting with the see as Sierra Leonean. Is it true or is it not true? With that said, make a play that. In the meantime, if anybody want call or want add to it before I give a closing statement, and I welcome for call either one of the lines them.
the salon family unado this Alpha Side Bangura they bring to another edition of Kapusen's No Kapu World today Monday September 11 2017. In this edition the appeal to members of the Sierra Leone People's Party, the SLPP in particular, and to Sierra Leoneans in general, for make we not ever elect Julius Maada Bio as SLPP, the flag bearer, or Awujibila as president of Sierra Leone. I go can you na boku reasons why for make Julius Maada Bio flag bearer for the SLPP go be detrimental. They go dey against the moral standing of the SLPP. I go also show na boku reasons why it would not be in the interest of the SLPP for elect Prince Adin as national chairman and leader of the SLPP. The SLPP don't pull what say this Friday when they come, September 15, they will begin the national convention and it will last Sunday, September 17. Therefore, all throughout this week, I go to run the records and past performances of all the one them we want for all office like the SLPP, because I don't go want let the SLPP go pick the wrong people them. We go can multiply the party in problem and we go put the party on a bad shape and bad footing. I want let we just look the activities of Julius Maada Bio from 2012 to now we now 2017. In 2012, members of the SLPP then take the party flag, then give Julius Maada Bio. There is boku money for support Julius Maada Bio for let he go be president of Sierra Leone. We within our SLPP North America alone, we send $110,000. The first thing where the national executive we been attended headed by Mr. John Benjamin decide now for set up a fundraising committee where go gather money for support that election day. The party been decide for make Dr. Kadisise and Momodu KOROMA be co-chair of that committee day. But when Julius Maada Bio can pick Kadisise as his running mate, now in the National Executive Council of the party decide say, let Kadisise come out that committee day because they don't make him vice presidential candidate. Now in Julius Maada Bio say no, na Kadisise he want. The party say okay, they allow her. The party been get in bank accounts, they will say they keep money. Julius Maada Bio instructs Kadisise for go open a different account. Now one bank go and call Guarantee Bank. And in the Julius Maada Bio and Kadisise now there have been signatories to the account there. According to clear evidence we available, Kadisise in committee gather over $1 million during that period day. Today, they refuse for produce all the financial records we go include receipts where they justify how they spend that money there for make the party go conduct a proper audit keeping in line with the constitution of Sierra Leone. Kadisise go na a national executive council meeting. He go read a financial report. And in that report, he willfully not include money them with two people and gear. And luckily, them people and they be present at a meeting day. Then grab, they say They may give money to KDCC for the campaign, and in the KDCC acknowledge that the first person na Ambassador Ali Bangwa, the second person na Mr. Andrew Kaini. At that point, the committee, the National Executive Committee say that report we KDCC they submit to them, complete. So let's go complete them. Then set up another subcommittee for go look at that report day, and that committee day was headed by J.D. Rogers. That committee day can report back say KDCC not able for properly account for boku money we handle, and because of that 30 day where KDCC not well right now, they are not able for conduct the audit, and that one day don't broke the laws of the party. After that, the party can elect the Sumano Kopen executive. That executive day right now, the term don't expire. For more than 30 days, all the money where they don't handle, they're not able for account for them. We now North America recently, not to even take them all, we give them $30,000 as we membership dues. Then during the voter registration, we send $19,000 to them as we help. That one day, if you add them all together, it's about $49,000. Before that registration they begin, Martha Kanabo, the national treasurer of the SLPP, say the party broke, the party no get penny. Now, from 2012 to now 5 years, where the Sumano Campaign executive don't they're not able to raise funds, the party broke. And what in that mean? Now that people are not even pay their membership dues. Membership in a political party, not you sustain, you maintain them by paying your dues. If you not pay your dues, then you not a member. Them people them will not be the pay dues. Now they make binding decisions for we that the SLPP. That is wrong. Now this convention, when I say will begin Friday, September 15, we will get a little over 600 delegates. 98% of them not to members of the SLPP because they're not be the paid dues. If you wanna believe say that they lie, it's simple. Let Mata pull the records or should say all them people them where they go vote now this convention where they come for we national executive and the flag bearer are paid up members. Because when if you get a receipt, he will get the copy of that receipt there, and the financial records will show that. Because if all the people left, almost 2 million supporters there with this party get all over the world, if they all they pay dues, like how we own are not the way they are North America, they pay dues every month, then the party not for broke. And it is also the responsibility of the national executive for the raise funds for maintain and sustain the party. So if they're not able to do that, then it means that national executive they don't fail in its responsibilities. And then delegates them work up for go vote at this convention. We're not to members, that would be unlawful, it will be illegal. If you know the pay dues, you're not to member, you don't get right for vote. But the national executive go allow them people and they for vote because according to them, all them people and their delegates and they don't pledge their allegiance to Julius Maada Bio. They don't assure they say that Julius Maada Bio then they go vote for. That is wrong. If you not pay your dues, you not to member, you not get voting right. The constitution is clear on that. That is back now common sense. But presiding and others, they don't care about that. What they don't care about, that for go coronate Maada Bio, regardless of the fact that Maada Bio gets a bad public record. They know very well say, where Mother Bio been there NPRC. He violently attacked Valentine Strasser for pull up as head of state and impose himself. They also know say from where Mother Bio come that the SLPP to today, it don't bring violence and thuggery that the party every day Mother Bio supporter and the cost at the party office, then the fetch people then turn out to vote. All that thing and they tarnish the reputation and the good name of the SLPP. But Prince Adin, they don't care about that. What they care about that for go coronate Mother Bio at the detriment of the party. Julius Mother Bio gets a record for treat women and bad. Not to one, not to two, not to three, not to four. And the SLPP also get as one of its core values respect for women, respect for picking them, respect for everybody. Julius Mother Bio not get respect for nobody, and he has manifested that in various ways. But Prince Adin and others, they don't care about that. What do they care about? That for go coronate Mother Bio because Mother Bio don't promise for give them position if he win the election. So that position they now Prince Adin just care about. Prince Adin, President Ahmad Tijan Kabati can make a minister. He be Minister of Mines, he be Minister of Transport. He didn't say President Ahmad Tijan Kabaka is sacked up because of the bad work we do. Prince Adin no care about that. He no care about his bad record. He just want for be national chairman and leader of the SLPP so that he will continue for the make money that the party aid. Members of the SLPP, una member about the interest of the SLPP. Una put the interest of the SLPP first. Una member say if una get bad leader like Julius Mother Bio and Prince Adin, then go give the party bad name like how they get so they go continue for give the party bad name. Them people are they no good. For more Julius Mother Bio cap, if they go ala say na unpopular pass all man. But today he not tell we how many people he don't bring camp that the party. Almost dues they don't pay. Almost money he don't gather for this party. Because according to the party treasurer, the party broke. So that they clearly should say Julius Mother Bio no there's no funds for this party. So waiting a so-called popularity the benefits the party, me no know. Passing the bring fence and hala people and they drag the party go court all the time because they know they do the right thing. Prince Adin and others know they do the right thing. If we get a national executive where election for flag bearer or the national executive not even take place yet, they don't determine say that Julius Mother Bio then go be flag bearer and them where they support Julius Mother Bio now they no more go hold national executive positions, then you will not say them people are in trouble, they want to continue for bringing Canada this party, they don't like the party at all. Them people will like the party, they don't behave like how President they behave. They don't behave like how Mother Bio they behave. Them people will like the party, they know they suspend and expel members them that the party. Because they will understand say in politics na addition and multiplication they do. Not to subtraction and division. But Julius Mother Bio, because of his selfish needs, he don't divide the party, he don't segment the party, he don't bring chaos and controversy that the SLPP. I want let the true and genuine members of the SLPP sit down men and think properly. Let them ask their conscience. Let them ask themselves if with all Mother Bio in bad record, with all the things that we Mother Bio don't do, for example, Mother Bio he thief with money na Salom, the way he impose himself as head of state to the tune of over $600,000. He can't he buy us cash. I want the two SLPP members, they ask if that is what you want in your next flag bearer. Or if that kind of person una want for be the next SLPP president. Who's kind bad name una think say Julius Maga Biobuki, the party based on the record, the thing the way don't do, the thing the way he himself not able to deny because he knows say they're not true. What do you think say go happen to this party at this difficult time? If we make Prince Adin, we get bad record. Prince Adin, we President Ahmad Tijan Kaba sack as minister, national chairman.
Now, excuse me, Critical Thinking Talk Show. Kindly identify yourself, please.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Canada, this is Mr. Sisse again.
Welcome back, Mr. Sisse, from Canada, correct?
Yeah, of course, yes.
Okay. Yeah, welcome, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like I can always say, your program now one of the best program where I think people from various walks of life they like participate, where they bring more insight to Sierra Leone and how Sierra Leone for grow. But like one of the caller make one billions comments. I think he had to make points while Sierra Leone left everything as Sierra Leone. So then we go back and able for like put things them straight, because if we left everything in government, and trust me, my Lord and Mercy and cry no more will always deep. But if it's the self will give you input to ensure say things can they happen. The point I want to make here and this, true, there are a lot of issues for address. But now look at the government. Do we have any national development agenda? No, say a book or a document will specify the heart of Sierra Leoneans. No, we will bring development where Sierra Leone they expect. That government in, government out, when they come, now based on that book, they are able for like a work on. But what I found out today in Sierra Leone, every government we come, we get to your side where we go. Yeah, we get government, this say free quality education. We get presidents and SU. We move from one place to the other, one place to the other. But we never for prioritize the development stem. Look at the water facility in the country. It's so deplorable that no government level for camp say, wait, who focus like this with the camp for can do, no address water system. Please add it not be national.
Sorry, sir.
So let it be things with a national interest, but not to, this time we have a problem. I don't say politics is bad, but whenever we link development and politics, there's a big issue there, because you're not able to draw the line between the political aspect, waiting the politician then want how they want the party members the benefit to the national development when the country wants. Because let's look at what they go on in the country, just like the water resources department, what they do, which strategy they don't put in place for make sure say, come this next year, look, Sierra Leone has not suffer for water again. But I tell you, almost if you don't raise up from water, almost we cannot get better from 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock morning for moving water. A lot they happen. Almost disease they don't come out from water, now the country. So this is not a problem, like you always say. When you mix politics and development, there will always be an issue. Because every minister when you talk now, the government don't do free quality education. No, even the water resources department, when you talk, if you go to this law, they will tell you we governments now free quality education, then that will be flagship project. Is that the only project that the government should pay attention on? What the minister they do? In their various departments, what they don't put in place, okay, Mr. President, this is what I want to do in my department. What are the activity plans for the month, for the year, for the first 3 months, for the first 1 year, for the first, I don't know, maybe it's because of my area of study, but I feel pity for my country. We've put people in position because of political affiliation. They don't play for me now political career, only who can have power. And I don't say it bad to some extent, but are they qualified?
If they put person in a position because no, this man I need in a campaign team. But the man is not qualified for that particular department or area where they put him. Pull and they put the right person there. Now that would they call development, now that would they call patriotism. Put the right man at the right place. Not feel fulfill political desire. They don't help the people that they put for we. This one, and you know they help we. And not until we move from that kind of politics, Sierra Leone is going to be very, very more difficult to develop. Yeah, because we are not moving forward at all. Look, when the law camp lives, all things today will never for address light issue in the country. All things today will not ever forget 24 hours light in a freedom, just freedom alone. So the issue, the government today will never prioritize the development them. The people don't get their say in the developmental affairs them. Yeah, because let's look at the flagship project where the government they run with the education. Yes, I agree for develop a country, the education aspect is very, very much important. But hello, how many people that particular department they save today? Take the parents that they buy uniform, they not the happening. We with the support system, the God has them back. Every other day they will tell you, so we have to pay this money, we have for this. Come on. We need to move forward. You know, me and me cry and the voice I will always add any media that Sierra Leone for move beyond political development. Not to waiting you party feel saying I ain't good. And what is good for the country, what is good for the masses. Look at the whole system, look at traffic. Why they see how traffic to work? You know, you enjoy for the guys self and party out to the world. But see how the country congests, see how freedom congests today. Almost traffic lights did at the country. You know, let me say, we are not prioritizing development. It's just that political link that would take for bring development. But I can tell you, and I can assure anybody, say none of them political parties are not they do research based on their agenda they come up with. Almost research and they do almost findings they get for car with so say we they do this, we they go do this. It just slows it down our party corner, no make this, no this to the car address. But I tell you, this party in the world, for anything will happen, they get research the world and it take place, times without numbers for ensure say that kind of thing no occur again. But it's not happening in the country. Tomorrow morning, we say one minister say one person say, okay, that's how they go. Is that prioritized? Is that what we want in the country? So for me, another thing again, where I will call on civil societies, NGOs, and the rest. Let me try to represent people's view and develop, say, the national development strategy for the country. We will pass on a parliament, say, look, party in, party out, we are going to work according to these documents, and we will upgrade them as the year they go by. I think that will help the country other than next 2023, let's assume that party they get the user where they want for Kenyigo. But that's how they want for Kenyigo. Is still the people's interest? Is that really benefiting the entire nation, or is it just a cross section of the country that benefits? So, like, meanwhile, for making people draw people attention to that one day and make we ensure say Sierra Leone development one for everybody, not for just one set. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sise. God bless you. So, what's going to be your last advice to the First Lady before we call and quit for tonight? If you were to advise.
Thank you again. I mean, jokes and done for me to talk on that. I think for me, the First Lady, I'll see and say like KOROMA we get twin picking them. You know, it's on one side, you feel you make the one picking something, the other picking also. You know, you don't analyze perfectly okay for me. You know, the Answer for Our Girls campaign, not only for stop for Answer for Our Girls, what about the boy picking itself? I work back in Sierra Leone on education project when I'm a GEC. You know, when we go to the field, what we do with research, you find out say many boy picking the way they suffer. Many in the way they go through abuses. But nobody is there campaigning or talking for them. So we appeal to with First Lady, they're using a office wisely. Let not just satisfy the political aspect or the political view. I agree she's very, very good for interact with people, for mix with people. But I think The end goal is waiting at the left, waiting at the legacy. If I left office today, the answer for a girl, say they die or they die. If I left office today, waiting people will remember me for board. These are some of the things when we think say the first lady for the think of and the corrections them way or the issues them way you don't raise. I think you perfectly put them in place where it will learn from. Yes, the office is new for them and there's lots where you get for learn. But again, you know they ever learn for like a reject your predecessors, them push them aside. There's a lot you can learn from them. Go back in the archive, we'll talk to them, read from them, learn from them. I think you will look for a successful person in the future. So let me go back to former First Lady, unite with them, learn from them. I think Mama KOROMA for like the guide them as to what we will for do because we former Vice first president in WEF, I think now somebody will get a lot of experience, and now somebody will you came for lean on and learn from her. So now that I'm your advice to the current president in WEF.
Thank you so much. Truly appreciate you, Mr. Sise. Thank you once again for your time and well stated. God bless you, sir.
God bless you.
Yeah, thanks. All right. Fellow Sierra Leonean and viewers beyond the Sierra Leone community, I think say we don't exhaust with time today, and hopefully within we will maybe elaborate a little bit further where we begin use with other platform. Maybe we will revisit this topic again in the near future. We hope say today the time where we don't take for not only point out the strength of the First Lady, but also more important, the side that we believe in now weakness, it will take her in good faith, we will be beneficial to them, and we will help them for succeed in any of in goals, as well as the goal of in husband. Like I stated earlier, and Mr. Siseba come back again and buttressed on that point. It is vital that you don't ever look at the predecessors them or the former we then First Lady as a competition, but rather as a big sister or as somebody where it will be beneficial to you, we go learn from them, who sign a mistakes or who sign not a mistake, who sign man sometimes in God don't know who sign na in man is strength. With then president or a man in weakness, will it be say in a return it will help you as well as your husband. With that said, I be telling her plenty thank you. I they also tell in a all thank you way reach in diverse way, whether in a phone call, in a text message, through Facebook, whatever the case may be, out of concern of the days the way I can be silent. May God bless we all. May God bless you for your concern. Again, after God, I tell you plenty thank you for your time when I take for be part of this platform, and also in a time when I take for share materials. Until next time, this is not the Critical Thinking Talk Show with our host Khadija Tijan Nabi. No, not forget what bind we together, which is the green, white, and blue, irrespective of a political affiliation. God bless we all, and God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone. Bye. Before I go, I also want to tell Mr. Sanko plenty thank you once again. We financial risk analyst of the Critical Thinking Talk Show, Mr. Sanko of United Kingdom, Mr. Sise as well, in all we take time today, in all we are not able to reach out to in terms of that they are missing a call or in a been try for calling and not able to go through because of the area code, forgive me. And I'm telling you once again, plenty thank you. God bless we all and God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone. Bye.